1983, is an Aggie and family-owned and operated agency aware of your needs. They're a statewide multi-peril crop and rangeland insurance agency providing coverage against drought on crops and rangeland. To find out more and check insurance deadlines, visit hargroveinsurance.com. That's the Hargrove Crop and Ranch Agency.
It's time to get closer and go farther with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction. The more lines you add, the more you save. That means you can get unlimited data for $30 a month per line when you get 2 or more lines. Add that line for him or for her and for them, because every line adds up to more savings. And with 5G access included, you'll stay connected on the network that has 4 times more 5G coverage than Verizon. Switch to Optimum Mobile and get unlimited data, talk, and text for $30 a month per line for 2 or more lines. And the savings keep adding up with great deals on the latest 5G phones with the lowest monthly pricing. It's the perfect time to get closer to Optimum Mobile and go farther with more ways to add and save, all at the same time. Visit Optimum.com/mobile or call 800-864-0500. Autopay required. Exclusive pricing for 2+ lines of service with unlimited data option. Offer subject to discontinuance or change at any time. Other terms and conditions apply.
I couldn't help but notice that your jaw dropped at the same time as your tailgate. Do tell. It's my first tailgate of the season, and I forgot to grab the food and drinks. Now I'm just standing in a parking lot with a hot grill and empty coolers. Pump the brakes on your tailgate hate, for Specs has thousands of ways to raise your team's spirits with a colossal selection of world-class wines, hard-to-find spirits, and ice-cold seltzers and beers. What say the parched Parker now? My parking lot faux pas was no match for Specs' plethora of low-priced perfection. Now I'll take my spot in the pregame Hall of Fame and kick back until kickoff in 6 hours. You certainly put the day in game day. And with Specs' lower prices, you'll save enough for tickets to the actual game. You're welcome. Specs. Cheers to savings.
T-Mobile 5G home internet is here, bringing you a fast, reliable choice in internet for only $50 a month. No annual contracts, no equipment fees, no yearly price hikes, and setup only takes 15 minutes or less. With T-Mobile 5G home internet, you get fast, reliable Wi-Fi on America's largest 5G network, all for just $50 a month. It's that simple. And with T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. T-Mobile's here in your neighborhood, and we've got you covered. Get home internet from America's largest 5G network today. Visit your local T-Mobile store or go to T-Mobile.com/Wi-Fi to check availability.
5G home internet availability limited. 4G options also available. Qualified accounts include regulatory fees and price. $5 more a month without autopay. Price lock for qualifying monthly rate for data service. See details at T-Mobile.com/Wi-Fi.
Aggieland, this is your home for Houston Astros baseball. Brought to you by Kelly Bird Dozer. Kelly Bird Dozer. You're listening to KZNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the zone. A unanimous Bryan Planning and Zoning Commission recommends for the second time in 6 weeks to deny Bryan ISD's rezoning request to build a transportation and maintenance center at Leonard Road and Harvey Mitchell Parkway. P&Z disagreed with the city staff's recommendation to approve the rezoning. P&Z member Jared Salvato said they have a different responsibility.
City staff's role is to what can legally be built, what physically can be built. But I think it's our role as being appointed by the City Council is to be the subjective side of this.
The City Council is scheduled to take final action October 11th. Bryan City Council members have set the prices for using the soon-to-open Legends Event Center. Without discussion at this week's meeting, approval was given for a rate schedule that begins at $5 a day for Bryan residents to use the gym when it's open. Non-residents will pay $10 a day. The most expensive rate is $8,000 a day to rent the entire center for a cheerleading, dance, or a competition involving mats. The College Station City Council's last budget amendment for the current fiscal year includes spending an unplanned $197,000 for collecting trash. Fiscal Services Director Mary Ellen Leonard told the City Council the additional cost is related to paying overtime as the result of truck and supply chain issues.
Because we have truck breakdowns, even if we're staffed up, we have people who have to work additional overtime in order to be able to get all of the routes complete. So we need some additional funds in solid waste for that overtime.
Leonard says there is one open position in College Station's solid waste department and 2 other positions were recently filled. A Madison County man who admitted to the burglary of a Bryan home 6 years ago has violated terms of his plea agreement for the second time. That led a Brazos County judge to sending 33-year-old Robert Strickland to prison to serve a 3-year sentence. For more news, go online to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
We're here with Jason Rollo of Rollo Insurance. Jason, when you say the difference is real, what does that mean?
Let's take the term real, R-E-A-L. Rates, education, assets, and life. And here's what I mean. People think insurance is about rates, and although those are important, it's really about education of the product you're buying so we can protect the assets of people, and we want to do that for life. Insurance is about taking care of people, and that's what we mean when we say the difference is real.
All right, for more information, visit RolloInsurance.com.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and Aggie broadcast sponsors, Schulte Roofing, Gulf States Toyota, Hargrove Insurance, and Twin Peaks. Here's a big gig to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. 24th ranked Texas A&M football welcomes number 13 Miami to town tomorrow. Aggie head man Jimbo Fisher has plenty of history with the Hurricanes, stemming from his time at Florida State. Fisher Seminoles went 7-1 against their rival, but his coach says it was never easy.
First of all, it was a very important game for us, like every game was. It was one of the rivalry games in which you had, and we had very good players. We had good players and good teams, and we coached very well and had them ready to play. And we always made those. We found those inches. We found those inches in those games. Like you go back to a lot of those games, we won. A couple of them won significant, and a couple of them, were one possession games. We were able to make those plays down the road right at the end to be everyone. Matter of fact, we even blocked a PAT one time down there to win, just like Florida State did the other night. We blocked a PAT down there against them one year and won 20-19.
Now, multiple outlets report that transfer junior quarterback Max Johnson will get the start for the Aggies tomorrow. That was first reported by TexAgs' Billy Lucci. Johnson replaces Haynes King, who struggled in his first 2 games as QB1. Kickoff is tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Kyle Field. The Zone Game Day show, sponsored by TexAgs, gets underway at 5 right here on The Zone. And Texas A&M soccer kicks off its conference run this evening as it takes on Georgia at Ellis Field. First kick is at 7 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
Looking for The Zone prize rules? Would you like to apply for a job at The Zone? Or need a phone number or email for The Zone? Visit zone1150.com. Would you like to sign up for The Zone All Access newsletter? Looking for podcasts of TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard? Or would you like to see The Zone's daily schedule? Visit zone1150.com. For more information, any questions, to contact us for everything and anything about The Zone, visit zone1150.com.
If I'm going to do this, I'll need my news team at my side.
News team, assemble!
Howdy, Aggieland. Welcome to the SEC.
Our program will be built on 4 principles in which I talk about all the time: toughness, effort, discipline, and pride.
Dang it! I'm going to have to buy that boy cream cone.
And now I'm distracted on my point. What were we talking about?
It's bull crap. All I care about is winning. Show me the dang baby.
You do it till they do it right, and then you do it till they can't do it wrong.
Go get him. Why are you dancing around? Eat him like he's a steak.
He fits what TexAgs Radio is about. He fits into what the listeners are going to want. He's a pro on every level.
That's how long I've been on ya.
It's Nuño and the crew
on TexAgs Radio, right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
You know how long I've been on ya. Since Prince was on Apollonia. Since OJ had isotoners. Don't act like I never told ya.
And we're off. And I've got some hope today, my friends. Woke up in a much better mood. Belief goes a long, long way, because if without it, are we even playing the games? Welcome into TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We call this the Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. And my partner this morning, as he is every morning at 8 o'clock, is Olin Buchanan, our Heisman Trophy voter. Good morning, OB.
Good morning.
It is a good morning, isn't it?
It is. It's always a good morning.
So we had heard that this was probably going to happen, and it's official. Max Johnson is now going to start. Billy was holding on to it for a little bit, and yesterday he let the world know.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I can't imagine how you can't make that move. Haynes got a shot and had some good moments, but he's had some moments where he looked like he was a little bit slow in reaction, and missed some key plays. So when your team is struggling, very often, not always, but very often, the first move is to change quarterbacks, to give them, as I should say, when your offense is struggling.
So this tweet came in to me from TexBet21, and I'm going to just say it out there, and we'll talk about it for a moment. Then I want you to hear something that I think is cheesy but resonates today.
Okay.
Here's TexBet21 asks, question of the day, do fans realize QB1 was many problems last week? Just an observation. And my quick response to that is, absolutely there are more problems than just the quarterback, but there were plays to be had, and you have to make those plays in close games.
I thought the offensive line was erratic.
Yep.
They had some good moments. I thought you had the fumble from Evan Stewart. Mm-hmm. You had Chase Lane missing a block. There were some plays out there to be made, but Haynes King, he missed some plays. There's no other way around it.
He did. He absolutely did. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can do that by texting us here on the A&B text line, 979-693-1150, A&B, a College Station branch of the Amarillo National Bank. Good Texas banking. The website is anb.com. Because sometimes I feel like going into the cheese, right?
Okay.
People doubt A&M right now. Is that a fair assessment that people think the season's going to go completely off the rails?
I think there's a large faction here and abroad.
Yep. And some are wishing for it. Some are enjoying it. And some say there's no way they're going to be able to fix it after losing to App State. Is that fair?
I would think there are some that feel that way, yes.
Not that the University of Miami is Ivan Drago. But when your own wife doubts you, this is what happens.
You can't win!
Adrian.
Look at the face.
Adrian always tells the truth. No, maybe I can't win.
Yeah, you can. You're Rocky.
Maybe the only thing I can do.
I can't even hear that.
Just take everything he's got.
Only thing he can do is take everything he's got.
Oh, okay.
He's going to have to kill me.
He's going to have to kill me.
Well, all I can say is when your wife is yelling, you can't win at you, when you're at your
because it feels like some of the fan base is saying.
I'm starting to figure out why Carlo was roughing her up in The Godfather, because if that's the kind of,
It's the same character, by the way. They had different names, but the same lady. In both
Don't
movies.
ever hit a woman under any circumstances, even in the movies. I'm just being facetious.
No. But the bottom line is the fan base, some have given up on Jimbo and the Aggies because of what happened. And you know what they did? They went back to work this week. They probably used no air conditioning in that phenomenal facility that they have. And they went to work like they were in Russia getting ready for Ivan Drago. And ladies and gentlemen, with Max Johnson leading the way, I believe A&M will have an offense this week, and that defense is going to be good enough, and they're going to roll. That's what I say today.
Maybe they were chasing chickens, like Rocky and Rocky 2.
Whatever it takes, do it. Chase the chickens, fight Tommy Gunn on the streets of Philadelphia. I don't care.
I think by then it was,
He wasn't. You know what's amazing about Rocky is that he was not very smart early on. Then by Rocky 3, very smart.
Yeah.
Like he had fake gone to college. By Rocky 5, not so smart again.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works.
Punch drunk, I guess.
Yeah. But that's what I believe. I have some hope.
I think you should have a lot of hope. I think I would have hope even if Haynes was still the quarterback, because there's a lot of really good football players on A&M's roster, and I still believe A&M has more talent than Miami. They're just not, for whatever reason, demonstrating it. The execution's poor. They're not being as physical as I thought they'd be, but getting Bryce Foster back will make a difference. Getting McKinley Jackson back will make a difference.
Yes. Yeah.
And Jalen Jones, that'll make a difference.
I'm sure I'll hear from Billy. By the way, Billy and I had an incident at the gym. We'll talk about that later. It wasn't really an incident, but he's always, he makes something out of nothing. That being said, Zyga Peyote says, shirt's getting tighter. That means things are getting serious. I don't think this is that tight of a shirt.
I don't think you can help but have tight shirts, right?
I'm not a big guy.
Because that's an extra large right there, and yet he's still busting out of it.
It's double XL.
I'm thinking that you're going to turn green and start getting pissed off here in a minute.
Well, you know what?
Hawk smash!
I'm actually in a good mood, and I haven't been. I'm not going to allow App State to ruin my week. They may have ruined my birthday and my Sunday and my Monday and part of my Tuesday. But by Wednesday, I had my conversation with my fake Adrian, right? She didn't believe in us, and I'm starting to believe. And I do, and I think you're exactly right. First off, there is, I think Haynes, with enough time, would have figured it out. I think it's here right now. Like, he's not processing the game. Unfortunately, in the SEC, you don't have that time. If you're not ready, we got to move on. And at least Max Johnson delivers a great ball.
We've seen it firsthand.
And he knows how to get up from being hit. Not saying that Haynes can't, but like this guy took some Michael Clemens hits, got right up, and delivered his best strike of his career.
So hopefully he'll play as well for A&M as he did against A&M.
Let's hope so.
Because, he's even with A&M's offensive line issues right now, I'd still say they have a better line than what he was behind last year.
Yeah.
Look, I expect A&M to play. I've said it before this week. To give their absolute best effort, and we'll see what that looks like. But I think of A&M as like a sleek sports car. I mean, it's a Ferrari. It's just, it's been in the shop.
Yeah.
Let's see if the mechanic made all the right adjustments, got some new plugs in there, and put some tires on it, and let's see if it can perform.
I'm going to read this one text. I'll let Caroline get to the rest of them. But Tony in Lexington says, Rocky was left-handed too.
Oh. Southpaw, South Jersey.
So Drago's more like Bama, right? It's not Miami.
Yeah, because a bunch of he's from Russia. They're red, the Crimson Tide kind of communist type.
But people doubted Rocky versus Kleber Lang as well.
Well, wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, Mr. T. A prediction?
I think I could beat Mr. T now, though.
I don't.
All right now?
No.
Mr. T as he is now.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
60-something years old,
I'd
Mr. T.
take him.
Yeah, I'd bet heavily.
I hope
on
he's
Mr.
not
T.
ill or anything. If he is, I'm going to feel terrible for saying that. Mr. T would win. I'll just leave it at that.
No offense, but I'm betting heavily on Mr. T.
Me and you.
Just because you get into your 60s doesn't mean you suddenly can't take care of yourself.
Well, okay. Rocky would definitely take care of all of us.
And
he's like 77, 75.
I always thought, the toughest guys are the ones that never talked about it.
Mr. T talked about it.
Like Hunter Goodwin.
Oh, we know. That's just
Hunter Goodwin could squash us all like a grape, but you never hear him.
No,
talking.
He wouldn't tell you that. Nick Savage, do you think he could squash us like a grape? He's quiet.
He could squash a grape.
That's for sure. We go behind the glass and say hello to Nick. Good morning, sir.
Morning. How are y'all?
Howdy.
Howdy. I'm
suddenly have an urge for grape juice, but go on.
I'm just excited. I'm kind of jealous of y'all because y'all get to go to the game. But I mean, I'm sure y'all saw that it's sold out. Kyle Field is sold out.
What?
Yeah, they sold it out. They announced it last evening, I believe. So I mean, it's going to be a nuts atmosphere. I'm jealous y'all getting to go, but yeah.
No. Even in the losses, I love being in that stadium. I didn't love leaving last Saturday. I kept on thinking, does this ever happen to you? Like, that didn't really just happen, did it? As I'm walking back to the studio, I'm like, Wait, did that really?
I felt that way. It was kind of like that. The last time I had a feeling to that degree was 94 in San Antonio against SMU, when I was thinking, I saw it and still don't believe it.
Ay, qué dolor. What a pain. Let's go now to the News and Social Center. Caroline Turner, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Good.
I'm okay.
She needs some intro music or something, to get us going.
Yeah. Okay, well.
She just glossed over that.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, old man, let's go.
What would be your walk-up song?
Aggie game day tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m.
All right.
It should be awesome. Hope it's a beautiful evening. I haven't checked the weather, though. Have y'all?
Going to have some rain tomorrow, but by kickoff, it should have subsided.
I don't check the weather. Unless, I see, I guess it's going to rain. Then I start checking it. Or if I'm going out of town, then I check the weather.
Yeah, that's another old guy thing. The older I get, the more I check the weather.
David Franz, by the way, just reminded us it's the last home game until October 29th. Yep. Holy smokes. All right, let's go. What else is going on?
Okay, so the A&M soccer team opened the SEC slate this Friday at 7 p.m., and they'll host Georgia Bulldogs for the Turn It Gold match.
Yes. This Friday? You mean tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah, I guess tonight.
Yeah.
This week flew by for me too.
Yeah, tonight. It's for childhood cancer, by the way. If you wear gold out there, you can get the jerseys as well. They have some commemorative ones for $15, I believe. Great cause. Go check it out. Caroline.
Okay, and so their matchup is Georgia, and they are 6-2 their first year, and they come down on a 5-match win streak. So hoping that the A&M can take it down.
There you go. Take it down.
Take it down.
What are we taking down?
Taking down the Bulldogs.
There we are. That's right. Are the Georgia Bulldogs going to take down South Carolina?
Yes. And
by 30-plus points?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see South Carolina lost 2 defensive starters for the year?
I did see that, yes.
And one of them is a linebacker that was a transfer from somewhere that he considered like their best defensive player.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I made this comment to you pre-show. I'm going to say it out loud. So it looks like Restrepo, the Miami wide receiver, Xavier Restrepo, is out. He's Miami's best receiver. I think it's 11 catches, 170 yards. He's the guy that Tyler Van Dyke roomed with, by the way. They're very close, and that's his favorite target. He's out for the game against A&M. He's got a foot injury. But I was on a Miami show yesterday, and I said this. I'm going to say it to you, OB. I don't care who plays for Miami, who doesn't. Right now, for me, it's about what A&M does, not what Miami does. If A&M has an offense, they're going to win some games this year. If they have no offense, they could be taking on a peewee team, and it's going to be tight.
That's true. It is about what A&M, because like I said, I believe A&M has more talent. So if you'll just demonstrate that, I think they'll beat Miami. That said, would A&M be as good without Anaya Smith?
Yeah.
And I'm one of those that like the idea of beating a team at its best, so they don't have excuses.
Sure.
However, at this juncture, I will take every break I can get.
Before we hit a break, let's get some of these text messages. Caroline, we got Chase in Houston. We've got one from a 979 asking about a King transfer. Let's just get into those real quick.
About putting the cart before the horse.
I know, that's what I was going to. Let's go with that one first, if you don't mind, Caroline.
The 979?
Yep, 739.
Okay, it says, "Hi guys, does this move pointing to King transferring out as I'm in the mindset that Connor is the guy next year?"
No, not yet, because it's a long season.
Well, yeah, I think the likelihood is that Haynes transfers if Max plays well the rest of the year, and it's obvious that they're probably going to continue to go with him or Connor.
Right.
But
today you can't say that.
But today, for all we know, what if from any events would lead Haynes back into the lineup and he plays well.
And he plays well. He has time away. He's kind of worked through some demons on the field. Look, I'm not entertaining any transfer real talk right now from anybody because it's week 3 of the season. We got a long way to go.
Yeah. So, but the truth and the fact of the real reality of college football, as A&M knows all too well, is if you have 2 quarterbacks that are in similar classification, one of them eventually transfers.
All right, let's do one more. Chase in Houston's got one for us to end the segment.
Miami is more like Tommy Gunn. Way overrated.
Are you familiar with Tommy Gunn?
I think so.
Who's Tommy Gunn?
Oh, well, putting me on the spot.
Oh, okay, I'm not going to do that to you. No, Tommy Gunn is the character that Rocky fought against in Rocky V, which
Tommy
was
Morrison.
One of the worst.
So bad I didn't see it.
It was so bad. It had potential. It was terrible. It ruined that franchise for me for a little bit, but they came back with Balboa. It's all right. All right. Thank you very much to Chase in Houston. All the text messages there on the A&B text line. We'll get to some more of those.
But does A&M and its fans need to be talking about anybody being overrated right now?
No. They got to just go do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be calling anybody overrated after I was number 6 and lost to Appalachian State.
Hey.
Hello, Mr. Pot. This
Pardon?
is Mr. Kettle. You're black.
Right now we're talking Caldwell Country Chevrolet. I don't know why I did that accent. I'm in a good mood this morning. I got good sleep. I had way too much caffeine. I'm going to have more. It's one of those kind of days. It's a Friday. I'm excited because it's a new chapter here in this A&M season, hopefully. And also, I'm talking Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Zach Hester is my guy. Love what he does out there, and you should too. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, you should call Zach Hester up. You should go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. If you are entertaining the idea here in the next couple of months, like, hey, man, I got a lot of miles on this car. I'm going to try to just keep going, but until I see a great deal. That's where you start your search at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. It's CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. They put all their deals up on the website, which is fantastic, right? They great deals. But in person, you're going to love it as well. If you're in the Brazos Valley, you're coming for the game, maybe stop by on your way in. Just leave it like a little hour earlier. Stop by, see what they got on the lot, and I'm telling you, you're going to love what they have there. Great customer service, great service on your vehicle, and just great people over there at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. 15-minute drive. Veronica Caldwell, a short conversation away, but you will see the difference when you step on the lot and you do business with Zach and the fellas there at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Brazos County Master Gardeners invite you to Learning at the Library, Wildlife Photography, Saturday, September 17th at 10 a.m. at the Mounts Library. This free event is open to the public. The Bush Museum Storytellers Guild are hosting historical impressionist Peter M. Small as President George Washington. Join them on Tuesday. For reservations, email bush.education@nara.gov. The Rotary Club of College Station invites your children to go wild with Roar, Rotary, and Reading. Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Mounts Library in downtown Bryan. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Come experience The Warehouse at CC Creations, the world's greatest Aggie shopping experience. With 28,750 square feet, The Warehouse at CC Creations is the Guinness World Records title holder for the largest collegiate merchandise store in the world. We are your one-stop shop for your entire family to stock up on Aggie apparel and gifts. Shop in store 7 days a week or online at thewarehouseatcc.com. Keep the tradition. Shop The Warehouse, located at 114 Holloman, just 1 mile south of Kyle Field.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and Aggie broadcast sponsors, Zwerneman Flooring, Lance Lester at the Lester Group, Specs Wines, Spirits, and Finer Foods, and Amarillo National Bank. Here's a big gig to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's Larry from Shelby, previously on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
the host of ESPN's Countdown to College Game Day, joining us right now, Christine Williamson. Let me start with last weekend in Austin. What was it like being there and that atmosphere?
Even though they were still trying to keep the energy, you could tell that there was a lot of tension amongst the fans.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, powered by Polaris Fun Center, 2 to 4 weekdays on the Zone.
Alicia Salt.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Roller Insurance Studio. Some may say, like, Rocky, really? Week 3 of the season? I don't know. I woke up in a good mood. I'm happy. Let's go. I'm a new beginning.
Are you going to go out before the game tomorrow
Like party?
night?
Like party?
No, I'm going to say find a priest and ask him to throw a blessing down on you.
No,
You going to show up in red, white, and blue trunks? No, wait. That was Apollo had the red, white, and blue trunks.
Eventually it became Rockies.
He was just white and blue.
Don't know if I'm sharing trunks with somebody.
Okay.
Not the same worn ones. Like,
Well, if they're washed.
I mean, too close to, you know what I'm saying?
No, not really. I mean,
close. Not sharing underwear with anybody.
Well, that's not underwear.
They're kind of underwearish. Yeah.
All right.
TexAgs Radio. We're presented by David Gardner.
We have a washing machine in my house, but
yeah, you better wash that with like plutonium or something. Get that stuff off. I don't want to touch that. Here in the Rollo Insurance Studio, the Go Hour presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. All right, my friend, it is time for a little pick six action.
Okay.
You ready to roll?
Yeah.
Let's go to Nick Savage behind the glass.
Nick Savage.
Alrighty, y'all. First game I got up for y'all. Number 1, Georgia going to South Carolina. That's an 11 o'clock kick. And Georgia is a 24-point favorite there.
Pardon? Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that.
I'm picking the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're picking the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That's your Lee Corso thing.
I'm going to leave the points.
Leave the points.
Or lay the points.
I am going to agree with you, my friend. I am going 100% by the Bulldogs, and I think it might be 30, not 24.
Yeah, because they have a little bit of an issue with South Carolina too. Not a major rival, kind of like the way A&M used to be with Baylor.
Sure.
They're not a major rival, but they're kind of an annoyance. So you want to just get rid of them, smash them like a fly. So I think Georgia will dominate South Carolina.
Nick.
All right, this one was a great game last year. Number 22, Penn State going to Auburn. 2:30 kickoff at Jordan Air. Penn State's a 3-point favorite.
Penn State's a favorite. Okay. Well, I'll still take Penn State and give those points.
Yeah, I'm doing the exact same thing. We've struggled with quarterback situation here in College Station. I think they are still there as well.
And Penn State, Sean Clifford is kind of a really up and down kind of
hit or miss,
makes you crazy kind of guy. He's their Kellen Mond. He can be really good at times. He can be really bad, but I just don't believe in Auburn this year.
All right, then we go to number 3, Nick.
All right, the only other ranked matchup this week, I thought our game was the only one, but this is another one. Number 12, BYU going to number 25, Oregon, 2:30 kickoff. Oregon is a 3.5-point favorite there.
Or I get to take BYU and points. Heck yeah, I'm going to take BYU and points.
I do too. We're like the same guy today.
I mean, what have you seen from Oregon?
Nothing.
That would make you say, oh, yeah, they're going to beat BYU. Well, they are the home team, right? And so the home team from Vegas always gets 3 points just from being at home. So essentially Vegas is saying it's a pick 'em. But so far, I'd say BYU has been a more impressive team than Oregon.
Much more impressive team. I 100% agree. This next game, though, I'm not going to say I can go either way, but I can understand an argument either way. Let's hear from Nick.
Mississippi State going to LSU, 5 o'clock kick at Tiger Stadium. Mississippi State is the 2.5-point favorite in that one.
Bulldogs again.
Again, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too. We're the same.
Yeah,
I think we're going to learn a lot about LSU this week because the Florida State game, atrocious coaching down the stretch, and they just didn't.
On both sides.
Sides, yeah. Last week, I don't really count that as a matchup. We'll see how they come back this week.
I just think Leach's got his offense rolling, and that quarterback from Florida State threw the ball pretty well on LSU.
Yep.
So why would Will Rogers not?
Let's go to the next one.
Number 11, Michigan State at Washington, 6:30 kick. Washington is the 3.5-point favorite.
I have to admit, I know nothing about the Washington Huskies.
I know nothing about them.
So I'm going to take Michigan State in points because I haven't seen much from the Pac-12 that makes me that impresses me. Maybe I'm going to lose this one just based on ignorance.
I'm feeling really good about my pick so far. I'm 100% agreeing with you. Michigan State is going to roll in this one at 3.5 points. Yes, they're going to win by 7. I'm in.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go to the last one.
All right, number 13, Miami coming to number 24, Texas A&M. Kyle Field, obviously, 8 o'clock kick. A&M is the 5.5-point favorite.
Maybe I'm just stubborn, but I'm going with A&M. A&M's going to win by a touchdown, at least.
I am too. And here's my thing. I don't think they're going to give up more than 17, 18 points, all right? Just like against App State. I just feel that with a little more offense going and that defense getting some guys back, I think maybe they give up 20 points. A&M scoring 31 points in this game. They're going to win.
Well, I hope you're right, because things score into the 30s, which you should do, then I'm going to feel like you win, especially with that defense.
If you give up less than 22 points, 21 points at home, you should win.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you let less than 20 points, you should win.
They need, and again, there are more issues than just the quarterback. I recognize that. The quarterback, hopefully it's been resolved for this week. The offensive line hopefully gets a little bolt, a boost from Bryce Foster being back at the very least. I think the snaps will look a little better, okay? And maybe some other changes on the offensive line. All those things combined, and I think this team has read and heard what people were saying about them.
Of course they have.
They're angry. They have been focused this week. I've had a couple stacked interviews, and that has been the message. Oh, yeah, we're focused.
Akinola Goombi's so upset that he's cursing.
He did curse.
He did. I love it.
It was a double take by me. Like, okay, let's go. He doesn't seem like a cursor. Like a mouse.
Yeah, maybe that was a precursor to what's going to happen to
you. You're good.
Tomorrow night.
My Joe Pesci. You. No, it's not Joe Pesci. Excuse me. It's Robert De Niro.
And analyze this.
Gosh, what a great movie. That first one I loved. You didn't like it too much?
I really don't remember it.
Oh, I loved it.
Okay.
Analyze that. Not as much. Analyze this. Very good. I'm all in.
I just don't remember it. But, I mean, I remember it's Billy Crystal and him. I think I never saw it. I think I saw the, trailers. We go,
I think you would like it.
I probably would.
City Slickers?
Yeah, I liked it.
That was good, too.
Yeah.
When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, I liked it.
Try to think of Billy Crystal movies. What else is there?
Mr. Saturday Night.
Uh-huh.
Which I didn't like too much.
What else? Give me one more.
Another Billy Crystal movie. I'm drawing a blank right now.
I am too.
City Slickers 2.
Yeah, City Slickers 2. All right. We're talking about the Association of Former Students right now. They've been around for over 140 years, and you have helped them help others. So really, we can all celebrate in giving, because when you give to the association, they put those funds and they give back to Aggie's current students and former students, and of course, Aggie Park, a big part of it. Just an awesome, awesome place. They give scholarships, student assistance programs, Aggie Band, the Silver Taps, Rain Day, class reunions, muster, tailgate, traveling Aggies. That is what the association does, and they do it so, so well. And you are their reason for doing it. They want to give to Aggies. You are their why, which is why they've created IamTheWhy.com, a website that's got a collection of Aggie stories. I hope some of you, during this show at some point, you go to that website. Not only do you partake in watching these videos, this YouTube page of Aggie stories, but you also upload your story as well. Tell your Aggie story. It's awesome. You'll love it. I highly recommend you do it. IamTheWhy.com is the website. IamTheWhy.com. It is the Association of Former Students.
He's gone to L.A. to interview Hugh Jackman, Brad Pitt, and Mark Wahlberg. Now he hangs out with Billy and O.B. It's David Nuño with TexAgs Radio on the Zone.
When your diesel truck or construction equipment needs DEF, WPI has the best price in town. Only $12.99 for 2.5 gallons. Regardless of your machine's make or model, WPI can help. From custom hydraulic hoses, O-rings to teeth, buckets and blades. Any part, filter, fluid, battery, or lighting is at your local WPI. Visit Jesse James at WPI's new location in Bryan, Highway 21 east at Marina Road, or click WPI.com.
The golf may be miniature, but the impact is major. Join the Salvation Army of Bryan College Station for Putting the Most Good, a mini golf tournament with a mission on Thursday, October 20th at 10 a.m. at Big Shots Golf. Register your team of 2 in a friendly competition with prizes for the winning team. Funds raised will help the Salvation Army continue their important services in our community. Sponsorship opportunities available. Join us in doing the most good by putting the most good, October 20th at Big Shots Golf. Register now at salvationarmybcs.org.
Howdy, this is Steve Bledsoe, fighting TexAgs class of '83, with some exciting news. Veribank is now open with our new full-service location on Highway 6 in College Station. With personal bankers, business bankers, Veribank has everything you need in one convenient location. Come see for yourself where genuine banking is waiting for you, and you can bank on it.
Visit verabank.com today. That's VERA bank.com. Verabank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you bleed blue, green, maroon, or purple, M&M Apparel can help you show your school pride with spirit wear for Bryan, Rudder, Consolidated, and College Station high schools. Stop into M&M Apparel's huge showroom filled with a wide variety of t-shirts, hoodies, caps, visors, polo shirts, jackets, spirit flags, bougie beats, headbands, stadium chairs, tumblers, blankets, duffel bags, and backpacks. They can also personalize your purchase with a player's name and number. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. M&M Apparel on Welsh Avenue, just north of A&M Consolidated High School.
Time to talk Factory Builder Store, celebrating that new location in College Station, located at 11907 Welborn Road, right next to the Ashley Furniture Outlet. They can service builders and the general public with locations throughout Texas, including right here in College Station. And at Factory Builder Stores, you're dealing with local people who do things the right way. So whether you're building a home or upgrading your appliances or outdoor living at your existing home, let Factory Builder Stores take care of you. Factory Builder Stores, College Station Showroom, open now Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Old Welborn Road, factorybuilderstores.com.
After each and every Aggie home game, let's talk about it. Join me, Louie, and Dusty for the Zone Call-In Show. It's brought to you by TexAgs. 30 minutes after every A&M home game, we take your calls for about 2 hours. Game day all Saturday long on the Zone is brought to you by Brazos Valley Floor and Design, Gage Gandy Bail Bonds, Malik Heating and Air, T-Mobile, and Big Shots Golf Aggieland.
I can play this song no matter what the occasion is. It's a great song.
You know what they play? You already know. I know you know
going.
this. You know what they play at a Miami game.
What's that? Welcome to Miami?
No, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't. It's been so long since I've been to a
Isn't
hurricane
that Scorpions? Rock You Like a Hurricane?
You're asking me,
Yeah.
the
Isn't
sports
that
guru?
Scorpions?
Yeah.
I have to look that up.
The Spiders, I think it was. Welcome back to TexAgs Radio. We are. How does a spider sound?
I don't. Do they make a noise?
I just want you to do one.
I don't know. I watched Charlotte's Web when I was a kid.
We were presented
That
by
is
David.
the Scorpions, by the way.
Yeah, I knew that, of course. We were presented by David Gardner's Jewelers and the Rollo Insurance Studio. We call this the Go Hour, presented by the warehouse of CC Creations. Scorpions. That's what we're coming back with next segment, the Scorpions. But wait, that's about Miami. So
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want a
rock
Scorpion.
us like a hurricane.
You know what we need? We need some good old country coming back. You make a request right now, we'll play it. What song sets the tone for the Go Hour for the last segment?
There's a song called Hurricane.
Do we like this hurricane, or is this a hurricane that kind of stops in the ocean?
No, it's just called a hurricane. It talks about a hurricane.
Okay, as long as that hurricane gets beat by the Aggies.
I think who sang it? It was a cover, and I can't remember who did I can't remember either one of them. Came out in the 80s, and then somebody covered it recently.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
According to Sean.
That's about Reuben Hurricane Carter, the boxer.
And he says there's a bad word in it, so we're going to have to skip that song.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. See? Not just the rappers and the reggaeton artists. Even Bob Dylan put some bad words in music.
But then there's that song from Will Smith called Miami.
Great song.
So I think that'd be a good one because that'll get you in the mood.
To go to Miami next year?
No, for when Miami comes here to slap them. Will Smith go slap those guys.
I like how you played that, my friend. I like how you played that. All right, let's do this. Let's do 3 things that we want to see OB. You can start.
3 things I want to see. Okay, first of all, I want to see effective quarterback play. Secondly, I want to see Devon Achane get the ball in his hands at least 20 times.
Okay.
And thirdly, I want to see some interceptions.
Pick, baby.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess we saw one in the first game.
Yeah.
Was it 1?
Was it 2?
Well, maybe it was 2. I know they had the one that Andre White deflected.
yeah.
Maybe there was another one. But I want to see interceptions. I want to see interceptions every week. You should have a good pass rush. You have all these guys and the athletes in the secondary. That should be a recipe for interceptions.
Yeah, but we need more interception. That was a problem leading into this season. No doubt about that. I'm looking at the team stats just to remember because right now I think last week kind of ruined my
Jardine Gilbert
A&M
had
threw
one.
2 interceptions, excuse me. Sam Houston threw 1. So
Jardine Gilbert.
Yeah, Jardine Gilbert had it. All right, I'm going to give you my 3 things.
Okay. Did I say his name wrong? I said Jardine.
I've heard
Am
it.
I being a little bit too
Well, some people call him
Louisiana?
A-Chain. Some people say A-Chain. I call him A-Chain.
It's A-Chain.
It is. Some people call him Jardine. I call him Jardin.
Okay.
But I might be wrong.
All right.
To me, it starts with the O-line. I know quarterback is what most of the emphasis is on, but if the O-line executes, they open holes, okay? They just do what they're supposed to do. They snap the ball correctly to the quarterback, right? Not too high, just right there, boom. And they protect Max Johnson. I think that is the start of something great. That's where it starts.
Okay.
I want to see an offense that moves the ball, okay? I'm talking we have some bootlegs. We have some dump-offs to the tight end. We have some deep throws. We have A-Chain running between tackles and getting you 8, 9, 10, 12-yard chunks. I want to see an offense that moves the ball. Sure, I want to see the big hit, but I want to see a sustained drive that we can certainly do everything that this offense is capable of beyond just A-Chain, getting a big run. I want to see it all.
I want to see some fast food.
And I want to see Tyler Van Dyke pay. Because we have a legit pass rush that is there. I want that pass rush to be unleashed. I want 4 guys down, and I want them to go after an offensive line that I've read and seen that is a little suspect. And if we need to blitz on 3rd down, Mike Glennon talked about how A&M blitzed very often on 3rd down against App State. They weren't as successful as I would like. I want to see them pay.
Yeah, but they were blitzing so often while only rushing 3 linemen.
Yeah, let's rush 4.
Let's rush 4 and then blitz, bring 5.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tyler Van Dyke, unlike the first 2 quarterbacks A&M's face, not really a mobile guy.
No, he's not.
He wants to be in the pocket. So collapse that pocket. I'm looking for Shamar Turner to have a nice game. By the way, I stopped at a local grocery store, one very close to here, the other day, and just pick up something to eat. And Shamar Turner has his own hamburger. It's the Turner Burger.
Really?
Yeah.
The Turner Burger.
Yeah, or something like that. The Turner Burger or something like that. So I suppose that anytime you get one, he probably gets a percentage of sales.
Absolutely. All right, let's go back to the news and the social center. We've got Caroline Turner there. Bunch of different text messages, some on Rocky.
Any relation there with Shamar Turner?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Any relation with Tommy Gunn?
No, not that one.
Okay, just making
sure. Turner Gill?
No, that's his first name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, remember we were talking about Billy Crystal movies?
Yeah.
A 512 says, did you mention Running Scared? That movie
was a good one. I like it with Gregory
Hines. Yeah, I love that movie.
That was a good one.
They should have made a sequel of that one.
Yeah. What would be the sequel called?
Running Frightened.
Running Brave?
Running Brave.
I don't know. That sounds like a Western. Okay.
What do we got?
Okay, we have a text from Ross from East Texas.
Hey, Ross.
He says, under pressure, because this high-pressure system that we're under will keep the hurricanes at bay.
Talking about songs we should play.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Okay. Under pressure right now is the leader in the clubhouse.
The Queen David Bowie mix. All right.
What else we got?
We have from Dr. Lee on campus, the original song entitled Hurricane was by a gent named Leon Everett, Dr. Lee on campus, a.k.a. the Bourbon Voodoo Hex professor at Olson.
Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
like
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. We got to get him on the show one day when baseball season's here, right? All right. What else we got?
We have, it says, from TexAgs and Taylor. Love the Rocky theme, Nuño. Just not sure if we are Rocky 1 or 2 under Max. Yes, OB, Rocky like a hurricane is Scorpions.
Look, it's way too early to go to the Rocky, but I feel that this game against Miami has so many ramifications. Like, if you have a poor outing and you look at what's ahead in the schedule, there's hard to have hope, right?
Yes.
And it's a long season. You can figure things out. I'm not saying it's over, but that's how it's trending, right? And I refuse to believe that it will be completely over. But this game is this is a chance to start fixing this college football world that A&M is in. If you win, doesn't mean anything other than, all right, now we got Arkansas, right?
If you lose, you're going to go 2-2 in non-conference games. That just doesn't happen for Texas A&M.
1-2 in non-conference games.
Well, you're going to beat Massachusetts
you're saying at the end of the year. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. What else do we have, Caroline?
We have from John in League City. He says that extra motivation for this team is having an 8 p.m. kickoff and having to watch game day and see App State all over again celebrate their victory.
You think those guys are watching game day?
No. I think they're probably going to be going over things about, hey, here's what we're supposed to do and your assignments and all those things.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
look.
I would imagine they let them sleep in a little bit.
If you don't have motivation from what happened last
you
Saturday,
don't need to see anything
then
else.
we're good.
I can't bring myself to watch game day.
I'm not gonna watch it. I DVR it every week just so if I miss a few minutes of it, I can go back and watch. I like to do that in the show on SEC Network. I have avoided so much college football talk this week. Like, I feel like I've done a disservice to our audience, but I needed a cleanse to get back to where I am right now, right? To be excited about the game. And I started getting excited by Wednesday. By Wednesday, I felt like, all right, enough with this dumb depression stuff. And it's not real depression, don't get me wrong, but I was moody because of that game. I feel really good heading into this game. And it may be dumb hope. It may be that I've seen Max Johnson play pretty well against a darn good defense in Texas A&M. It may be that I know that game last week, 1 or 2 plays make a huge difference. It may be all that. And I know Miami is a step up in weight class. I get that. But App State almost took them out, too.
Yeah. App State, again, that game came down to a field goal last year. Miami's got some guys that transferred in. I guess it makes them better. But at the same time, they probably have some guys that left that might be starters still.
Yep. Look, I want to believe in the defense. Last week, I struggled with the defense, even though they were good enough. I want to see, though, that kind of defense where they're not gonna go 9 of 20 on third down. And I think DJ Durkin's too good of a defensive coordinator not to fix some of those issues that we saw last week.
Well, my feeling on his scheme last week. I hope he's too good a defensive coordinator to realize that he shouldn't be rushing 3 guys and playing with 3 linemen when you got as many good defensive linemen as they have.
I'm sure there was a discussion with Jimbo.
I would hope so.
You would think. All right. Right now we're talking Big Shots Golf, Aggieland, Anthem Kitchen and Bar. OB, I think you'd love this place.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, you have been there? Okay.
I've been there once.
Yeah, TVs.
Yeah.
Got golf.
Yeah.
They got games.
Yeah.
They got fun.
We were there and Irma won a golf cart.
Oh, that's where you won it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See? Good stuff there. You should check it out,
if
guys.
anybody wants to buy my golf cart, hit me up.
You still want to get rid of it?
I do, but she doesn't. But I'm going to.
Do you drive it ever?
The first week we drove it all around the neighborhood all the time. Now it just sits in the garage.
I would not recommend driving a golf cart from your house to Big Shots. I would recommend taking
that would not be a good idea.
truck. That would think it would be a little safer. But they got the restaurant inside Big Shots. They've got a sports bar built for every fan. Come hang out. Scratch cooked menu items out there. They bring the fun every single day
it's a fun
as well.
Place.
Dueling piano events.
I didn't know they do that. That's
you like
fun.
that?
Yeah, I do.
Trivia nights. I know you love trivia.
I like trivia. Yeah.
Weekday happy hour. I mean, you'll go.
I'll go.
Why not?
I don't go as much as I used to.
Who doesn't? They got brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. I know you're a big brunch guy on the weekends. On Sundays.
I like to have a good breakfast.
Yeah, we'll see. This is an ad for you, all right? And you didn't even know it was an ad, guys. Visit anthem.bigshotsgolf.com to learn more. Anthem.bigshotsgolf.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. You're invited to Get Growing with Master Gardeners Wildlife Photography, Sunday, September 18th at 3 p.m. at Lick Creek Park. Register at the College Station Parks and Rec website. The Bush School is hosting a panel titled Monkeypox, Have We Learned Anything from COVID-19? Monday, September 19th at 5:30 p.m. Register online at bush.tamu.edu/events. Brazos Valley beekeepers are hosting their annual bee school on Saturday, September 24th at First Baptist Church in Bryan. The full-day school has over 50 classes with many hot bee topics. Visit bvbeaks.org for more information. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers cash and prepay parking options.
Park in downtown Bryan and ride the free shuttle to campus.
For those parking with annual permits, be ready to show us your 2022 permit barcode.
For game day traffic and parking info, visit Destination Aggieland within the TAMU app or visit transport.tamu.edu.
Remember Destination Aggieland to help plan your day.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
On Sports Talk, Jimbo takes listeners behind the scene every Wednesday at 4:15.
You got to get guys in the box. You got to tackle well in space and get them in third and long. But then their quarterback's very dynamic. The tight end's dynamic. The receivers can play. I mean, you're going to have to play a complete football game and get off the field and then keep the ball in offense.
Sports Talk, amaze your friends with Aggie football knowledge. Served without Kool-Aid every weekday afternoon since 1994 here on The Zone.
And we're back, TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Nat on the chat says David only likes Bad Bunny. No, I like a lot of other music. I like Oasis. I like Rocky music. I love Kanye West, which I know you're a huge fan of. I like country music. When I just don't know the songs, but I like it when it's played. What else do I like, OB?
I'm sure you like something, any kind of hip hop or rap that.
I don't listen to a lot of the new stuff.
Okay.
I don't. No, I'm more of an old school guy. Old school flavor here on TexAgs Radio. All right, let's do this. It is now time for Bank on It. We're presented by Vera Bank, authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. All right, OB, what are you banking on?
This is the game where we finally see what we've been looking for out of A-Chain. He's going to get a little bit more blocking. I think Max, with his experience at quarterback, is going to make some plays where the defense finally is going to have to actually not be preoccupied with A-Chain. I think this is the game where he's going to break something long. I mean, really long, not just 26 yards. And this is the game where you're going to say, okay, that's why they were saying he could be a Heisman contender.
So I will tell you that I haven't been completely wrong. My first game, I thought that we'd get a 50-yard touchdown from Evan Stewart. We didn't get that. We got one from Anaya Smith, 66 yards, right? Is that right?
63.
63 and Yule Keith.
67 from Yule Keith Brown.
Right. So I was wrong on the person. Last week, I thought we would have one of those A-chain type performances, and we got maybe a little bit of it. He just didn't get enough touches. I am going with this week. A&M is scoring on their first drive, something we haven't seen, and that is totally blind faith.
That is way out on the limb.
I admit it, and I haven't been to practice this week. I haven't seen a trick play. I haven't seen anything to make. I just think this team is going to come out so razor sharp focused that they're going to score on the very first drive of the game for them. I believe it.
I said maybe that Ferrari I was talking about got a new alternator.
Yeah.
Because they've had all kinds of trouble starting.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can start fast and finish fast and go fast in between.
If I'm Miami, that's my game plan, though, is starting fast on this team that, like if you start fast on A&M, who hasn't proven that they can move the ball, bury the hopes of the fans in that stadium, and see if you can continue that. But I think it'll be different.
Make the doubt creep in and get the crowd quiet.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Does that mean you come out and Van Dyke is throwing the ball all over the place and going deep?
Yeah.
Because they've got the running back, Parrish, the transfer from Ole Miss, and he's okay. But he's not a dominant type running back. If you're he's like anybody. If you're not careful, he can bust a big one on you. But I don't think he's some guy that's going to go out and get. You're worried about him going 5 or 6 yards of carry or things like that.
Right.
So if they're going to get a fast start, I would think that means Van Dyke's throwing a lot.
And look, I get it. Like there's people Zygot says, have you lost it? No, I am totally doing this based on the two changes that we expect to see offensively. Max Johnson and Bryce Foster. Look, I know Bryce has been out. You can't expect miracles. I get that. But I just think there's going to be something about that first drive, the amount of focus, the amount of scripting going into it, that I think it'll just feel different on that first drive. I'm not saying they're going to score like 60 points in this game. They got to prove to me that they can score 30 against a legit opponent.
Well, the way they've been scripting, they've been scripting like it's Wild Hogs.
Yep.
Script. Really, it's like a real bad movie. So maybe they'll finally get something put together and they'll actually move the ball well on the first drive.
Yeah. You think A&M's going to win? You feel pretty confident, though?
I feel they will. My confidence meter is probably around a 7. I don't think you can ever be a 10 with these guys. But, again, I've said it over and over. You're going to get the best effort from these guys. Now, we'll see what that looks like, but you're going to get the best effort.
OB, I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
When we come back, around Aggieland plus Billy Lucci. How did it play out for Max? We'll get into that next. TexAgs Radio.
There's something special happening in College Station.
Because there ain't a better place to go to school and play ball. We don't like it, we're coming on. Get used to it, all right? We ain't going nowhere.
Bring the noise, 12th man. This is our time. Join us Saturday. Texas A&M hosts the Miami Hurricanes. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. on your home for Aggie football, the Texas A&M Sports Network. Gig 'em. Listen to Aggie football on 1150 a.m. and 93.7 FM. Online at radioaggieland.com. Or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Get connected and be in the know with The Zone. Follow us on Twitter at Zone1150. Like us on Facebook, Zone1150. Subscribe to our daily newsletter at thezone1150.com. This is KCNE College Station, Bryan.
From From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. A unanimous Bryan Planning and Zoning Commission recommends for the second time in 6 weeks to deny Bryan ISD's rezoning request to build a transportation and maintenance center at Leonard Road and Harvey Mitchell Parkway. P&Z disagreed with the city staff's recommendation to approve the rezoning. P&Z member Jared Salvato said they have a different responsibility.
City staff's role is to what can legally be built, what physically can be built. But I think as our roles as being appointed by the City Council is to be the subjective side of this.
The City Council is scheduled to take final action October 11th. Bryan City Council members have set the prices for using the soon-to-open Legends Event Center. Without discussion at this week's meeting, approval was given for a rate schedule that begins at $5 a day for Bryan residents to use the gym when it's open. Non-residents will pay $10 a day. The most expensive rate is $8,000 a day to rent the entire center for a cheerleading, dance, or a competition involving mats. The College Station City Council's last budget amendment for the current fiscal year includes spending an unplanned $197,000 for collecting trash. Fiscal Services Director Mary Ellen Leonard told the City Council the additional cost is related to paying overtime as the result of truck and supply chain issues.
Because we have truck breakdowns, even if we're staffed up, we have people who have to work additional overtime in order to be able to get all of the routes complete. So we need some additional funds in solid waste for that overtime.
Leonard says there is one open position in College Station's solid waste department and 2 other positions were recently filled. A Madison County man who admitted to the burglary of a Bryan home 6 years ago has violated terms of his plea agreement for the second time. That led a Brazos County judge to sending 33-year-old Robert Strickland to prison to serve a 3-year sentence. For more news, go online to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's not every day you can save money. Oh, wait, you can. Hi, Jenny here from Big Deals. When you shop Big Deals, you'll save money every day on dozens of gift certificates from local businesses like these.
J. Cody Steaks and Barbecue, Horseshoe Junction Family Fun Park, M&M Apparel, and Premium Rapid Lube. Visit AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Texas Army National Guard. Aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on the Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. 24th ranked Texas A&M football welcomes number 13 Miami to town tomorrow. Aggie head man Jimbo Fisher has plenty of history with the Hurricanes, stemming from his time at Florida State. Fisher Seminole went 7-1 against their rival, but his coach says it was never easy.
First of all, it was a very important game for us, like every game was. It was one of the rivalry games in which you had, and we had very good players. We had good players and good teams, and we coached very well and had them ready to play. And we always we found those inches. We found those inches in those games. Like you go back to a lot of those games, we won. A couple of them won significant, and a couple of them, man, were possession games that we were able to make those plays down the road right at the end to be everyone. Matter of fact, we even blocked a PAT one time down there to win, just like Florida State did the other night. We blocked a PAT down there against them one year and won 20-19.
Now, multiple outlets report that transfer junior quarterback Max Johnson will get the start for the Aggies tomorrow. That was first reported by TexAgs' Billy Lucci. Johnson replaces Haynes King, who struggled in his first 2 games as QB1. Kickoff is tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Kyle Field. The Zone Game Day show, sponsored by TexAgs, gets underway at 5 right here on The Zone. And Texas A&M soccer kicks off its conference run this evening as it takes on Georgia at Ellis Field. First kick is at 7 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
Each week on the Louis Bellina Show, presented by B&B Automotive and Superior Auto Service, 2 remarkable businesses, 1 great family, we have you hooked up for all things college football. Monday, Mitch Light of The Athletic. Tuesday, Cedric Golden of the Austin American-Statesman and Olin Buchanan of TexAgs. Thursday, Braden Gall, 440 Sports, ESPN Radio. Every Friday, Bryce Jones. Check in with the Louis Bellina Show weekdays, 11 to 2.
And we're back. We call it TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Appreciate everybody listening in here on a Friday morning. I want to remind you guys that Rollo Insurance is the official insurance provider of TexAgs Radio. The difference is real. They're an independent insurance company built around educating you on exactly what you're paying for, doing the shopping for you so that you can accomplish all of your insurance goals. They can write any form of insurance to anyone in Texas and several other states as well. They've got 45 offices in this great state of Texas. Their headquarters is on Highway 6 right here in College Station. You can call them up at 888-44-ROLLO or go to rolloinsurance.com. All right, guys, so a couple things. We're about to do it around Aggieland, but I'm going to ask you, like you've heard this confidence from me this morning about what I think A&M's going to do. Sometimes a little change offensively or even in your work environment, just like a new day, it just feels different. And I'm hoping that some of the changes we see this weekend really puts that, not only the focus that they had leading up to the game, will make a huge difference. And look, I understand that they have not played up to par, especially from what we expected them to be this year. Hopefully that changes on Saturday night. We see some offense, so I want to hear from you on the A&B text line. 979-693-1150, 979-693-1150. So right now, it is time for Around Aggieland, which is presented by Norman G. State Bank. Norman G. State Bank, rock solid banking. The website is normanggstatebank.com. Kay Nagley is with us. Kay, good morning.
Good morning, guys. You've been specifically very energetic, and I like it. It's just a new day.
It's a new day.
It's a new time, you
so
know?
Here's the truth. Okay, I'll just be very honest with you. I got really good sleep last night. Okay, and I heard your sound. You're like, oh, here we go, freaking sleep, Nuño. All right, Doctor.
No fun, Nuño.
No fun, Nuño's fun. When I get good sleep, I'm like, let's go. I'll party till 9:35 p.m. I got it.
9:35.
I've got an extra 35 minutes to go with me. Tonight's Friday. I'll be out till at least 10 p.m. tonight.
I got news for you, Nuño. Tomorrow night, you're probably not going to bed at 9:35.
No, I don't think my
with an 8 p.m. kickoff, I don't think you're gonna get that.
I don't think my post-game show starts until after midnight.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Hey, how about this? I told you this the other day. If A&M wins by double digits,
okay,
after the post-game show, wherever you guys are, you
You'll
guys
come?
are out. I'll tell you that I'll come.
There's no way.
I will tell you, Northgate, let's go.
I will hold you accountable. You don't understand.
Oh,
this.
It's gonna be party time. Okay, this guy right here, the partier.
We'll cross that bridge when
Ask
we get there.
any ex-coworker of mine at ABC 13 or even here at TexAgs. I'd be like, yeah, we'd travel with the Texans, be out of town. Like, hey, San Francisco. Hey, Nuño, we're going to go eat Chinese food, and then we'll hit the town. Yeah. 9:30, Harry Houdini. I'm out. There's no sign of Nuño.
He dips.
But I'm telling you, they win by double digits. There will be a picture of me at Northgate.
I will be sure to text you if we win, or if A&M wins by double digits tomorrow. You will be the first person I shoot a text. So.
All right, I'm coming.
All right. So speaking of
maybe even OB. All right, what do we got around Aggieland?
Speaking of an 8 p.m. kickoff, number 24 Texas A&M will take on number 13 Miami right here at Kyle Field in front of a sold-out crowd. Kickoff is officially at 8:10 p.m. If you are unable to attend that game, you can catch it on ESPN. A&M soccer, the Aggies open their SEC slate tonight at 7 p.m. when they host the Georgia Bulldogs in the third game of their 4-match homestand at Ellis Field, and that is the Turn It Gold match. Volleyball, the volleyball team concludes non-conference play this weekend when it heads to the East with the WKU Invitational, and that will go on through the 16th and 17th. And then finally, women and men's cross country will host the Texas A&M Invitational starting today at the Dale Watts Cross Country course.
All right. Kind of pumped for things going around on campus. Things are good. I know football has not felt good, but women's golf did great. What was it, last weekend, the weekend prior, when they went to the Carmel Cup and finished runners-up. Volleyball's been playing great. Soccer's playing great. A lot of great things. I use the word great a lot, but a lot of good things are happening here for Texas A&M athletics, and I think things will start changing this upcoming weekend. I do want to go to the A&B text line for a moment because Chase in Houston's very active today, and we did our Bank on It segment, and I banked on A&M scoring on their very first drive, and I'm also going to hope that Chase is right on his bank on it. He says, bank on A&M holding Miami to 10 points or less. It's a big ask, I think, but I'm all in for it. You know, without a doubt, if A&M is able to have some kind of offense, I do believe that, yes, they will be able to hold a team. I don't know if 10's the right number, but I'm here for it. No doubt about that. Kyle in Cyprus on the A&B text line also reads, says, I want to see them play with fire, but with a level head. Avoid the dumb penalties. No more back-to-back face mask. Absolutely. And B in Austin says, bro, you're going to go out at midnight partying with some 20-year-olds will not help you get shredded. First off, I don't drink, so I'll be fine. And I'm lying. There's no chance at 1 o'clock in the morning I'll be like, okay, now I start my evening. No, it doesn't roll like that. But if they win by 10 plus, I'll make an appearance. Especially if OB's out and Billy's out. I won't be the only one who won't. I will. Last one I'll read here. Roy May. Last week was very Rocky 3 in a similarity to the first bout with Clubber Lang. I like where you're going here, Roy. Anais all but confirmed it with his comments. I just hope that the storyline stays synced up. We got to get back to the basics in training, and we go out and punch Miami in the mouth. Gig 'em, Roy. 100% agree with you, brother. Let's go. Let's go do it. All right, when we come back. Oh, yeah, men's golf, too. I'm sorry. Coach Corton reminding me. Yeah, absolutely. William Pacey, the medalist out there. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I should have said that, too, Coach Corton. You're exactly right. We got to get you here in studio soon. It's been too long. Right now, we're talking Heritage Films. Chance McClain and yourheritagefilm.com is the website. If you have not checked it out, and you love stories, and you love history, and you love your own story, you should check it out right now. Yourheritagefilm.com. They make documentary films about your family. They make it can be beyond that. It can be documentary film about your uncle. It could be about your boss. It could be about your son, right? It could be for yourself, and you may be thinking to yourself, why would I do a documentary on myself? It's not for you. It's about your family. It's a gift that will be given to generation after generation. You know, like 100 years from now, like, hey, I want to know the David Nuño story, the Brian Corton story, the Kay Nagley story, the Caroline Turner story, right? 100 years from now, Heritage Films video will still be there, and you can see how it all kind of unfolded. That's what I love about it. Yourheritagefilm.com is the website. Yourheritagefilm.com. 713-893-8341. 713-893-8341.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Brazos County Master Gardeners invite you to Learning at the Library, Wildlife Photography, Saturday, September 17th at 10 a.m. at the Mounts Library. This free event is open to the public. The Bush Museum Storytellers Guild. They're hosting historical impressionist Peter M. Small as President George Washington. Join them on Tuesday. For reservations, email bush.education@nara.gov. The Rotary Club of College Station invites your children to go wild with Roar, Rotary, and Reading. Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Mounts Library in downtown Bryan. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
If you own construction equipment and need replacement rubber tracks, now's the time to get $200 off your next set of rubber tracks at WPI. Regardless of your machine's make or model, WPI can help. From custom hydraulic hoses, O-rings, and depth to teeth, buckets, and blades is at your local WPI. Visit Jesse James at WPI's new location in Bryan. Hurry in. $200 off rubber tracks in soon. Highway 21 East at Marino Road or click WPI.com.
Time to talk Factory Builder Store, celebrating that new location in College Station, located at 11907 Welborn Road, right next to the Ashley Furniture Outlet. They can service builders and the general public with locations throughout Texas, including right here in College Station. And at Factory Builder Stores, you're dealing with local people who do things the right way. So whether you're building a home or upgrading your appliances or outdoor living at your existing home, let Factory Builder Stores take care of you. Factory Builder Stores, College Station Showroom, open now Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Old Welborn Road, factorybuilderstores.com.
Does your bank know your first name? At Normandy State Bank, they do. Normandy State Bank is locally owned, controlled, and operated. This local personal touch means banking decisions are made on site the same day you request it. Normandy State makes banking easy. They're open Saturdays, offer state-of-the-art online banking, bill paying, fund transfers, check and statement images. Normandy State, where customer service is their priority. Normandy State Bank, rock solid. Member FDIC.
Start your Aggie football Saturday with the Zone Game Day Show, brought to you by TexAgs. Join me, Louis Bellina, and my friends like Olin, Cease, Dusty, and Bryce. It's the Zone Game Day Show, 3 hours before kickoff every Aggie football game. Game Day, all day long on the Zone, is brought to you by David's Jewelry and Coin Exchange, King Ranch, Saddle Shop, Texas, Mobile One Oil and Lube, and the George Bush Presidential Library and Museum.
And we're back. We call it TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. David Gardner's Jewelers is a proud corporate sponsor of Aggie Athletics and of this show since day one. 911 University Drive East in College Station. They got Rolexes, they got timepieces, they got it all out there. Stop by and meet with one of their certified Rolex specialists out there. Again, 911 University Drive East in College Station. The ideal gift for any David Yurman collector. Signature bracelet to add to her stack from David Gardner's Jewelers. Shop online at davidgardnersjewelers.com. I know we got Billy in the office as he's walking in. Billy, I don't know.
You've been missing me.
Not only have I been missing, I'm in a good mood this morning.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm ready for game day.
I am ready for our game day.
Listen, here's the thing. You got the Miami Hurricanes, the U coming in here. And by the way, they waxed A&M's ass back when, a lot of guys will say it's unacceptable to lose in Miami were playing. They waxed the Aggies twice in a row under the great Randy Shannon, one of the worst coaches in the history of the U. There's a little payback in order, first of all. Second of all, this is a big game. Miami's trying to make a statement at A&M's expense under a first-year coach, Mario Cristobal. Jimbo Fisher in year 5, coming off the loss to App State, with what looms ahead on the schedule, the SEC gauntlet, and I mean gauntlet, especially early. Not that it gets that much easier late when you look at the teams, but you're about to enter into the SEC gauntlet. You're about to play number 10, number 1 or 2 when you play them, probably in Bama, and at Mississippi State in between, who will probably be ranked by the time you square off with them. I think they're going to beat LSU this weekend in Baton Rouge. This is a monster game for Jimbo and the Aggies. This is the only matchup, I believe, of top 25 teams this weekend. It's nationally televised, ESPN, Saturday night game at Kyle Field, a sellout. Herbie and Fowler in the booth. This is, you missed game day and you should have because you lost to App State. And please, Aggies, don't ask why they're in Boone, North Carolina. That's going to be a badass atmosphere. It's a change up for them. And A&M lost game day with the game. That is so secondary. In fact, I don't even think A&M needs that spotlight right now because this is a 4-quarter fight they're about to get into, and they need to treat it as such. No distractions. Roll up your sleeve. Get ready to play like a bunch of badasses and stop playing soft and stop playing tentative and coach the same way. So this is a fight tomorrow night against a team that has a history of fighting, and they want to come in and be tough guys. They want to come in and intimidate. They want to come in and talk a lot. That's been the case for Miami forever, dating back to the 80s. Win, lose, or draw. That's what you're going to get. Teams in the ACC are used to it. They handle it fine. A&M hasn't played this kind of team. This is where Jimbo Fisher should really come in and help. Guys like him, James Coley, who coached there, some of the guys on that staff that are familiar with the U, they need to come in and help. DJ Durkin coached against Miami when he was at Florida. I believe he did, and they don't play him every year like they do Florida State. But a lot of guys on that staff familiar with it. You need to come in ready for a fight, but this is fun stuff, man. This is fun. This is a big game. It's an important game. It's vitally important to where A&M's trying to go, but it's a big game on the national stage as well. The only difference is now you don't have game day now you have a bunch of eyeballs expecting to watch, Jimbo Fisher and A&M fall and fade away into oblivion.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants to see. Everyone outside of College Station wants to see that. Somehow people are going to be rooting for the freaking Miami Hurricanes.
As the good guys.
As the good guys. And really all A&M did to become the bad guy was spend a bunch of money on facilities, spend a bunch of money on a coach, and get a recruiting class that everyone said A&M spent a bunch of money on. So you got to wear it. You got to own it. You got to lean into it. And you got to beat these dudes tomorrow night. And I'm here for it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't think either team right now is that good. I've watched Miami, and they lost the guy that was catching all the clutch passes for him in Restrepo. Gotta say it right.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like A&M. If A&M plays like they did the last 2 weeks, they will lose. But I think even just a more motivated, focused, and determined A&M team with maybe a spark from a change at QB, which we're about to talk about, I think that team, in Miami, neither of those teams are just that good yet. And it's just going to be two teams that hope to be better later in the year that are trying to get through week to week to week. Now, Miami hadn't lost yet because they hadn't played anyone.
Right.
A&M played a team that I think if App State and Miami were playing this weekend, that's a coin flip football game. And I'm not saying App State's great either. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, hey, guys, we're not giving them App State's on the level of North Carolina. They're on the level of A&M, unfortunately, and they're on the level of Miami. So that A&M team played like crap for 4 quarters, and it came down to a missed field goal at the end or a missed target on a crossing route for the win. So that's how close it was with A&M playing bad against a team that I think is pretty similar. Miami has better athletes. App State has a hell of a lot more experience. Coaching, whatever. I happen to really think the App State staff coached their asses off the first 2 games. So we'll see. I'm fired up. I think this is it's every bit as big a game as it was supposed to be. Just the reasons why have changed.
They have changed
significantly.
And to me, this game is about now and about the future.
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
You want to have some hope heading into that Arkansas game? Bring it this week.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have some hope for the rest of the season and really 2023? Like, it starts now. It really does start now. Because if it gets bad against Miami, that stadium across the street is going to be real quiet, and we don't need it to be quiet. We need it to be.
It's here's the thing, Nuño. You can have several weeks before you even come back.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said when I look at that schedule, man, with Ole Miss, Florida, and LSU late, it's been a long time since A&M's played truly meaningful November games at Kyle Field, and you have a chance for 3 of them. I know Ole Miss is like the last weekend in October. You have a chance for 3 of them. You better start playing a lot better football now for those games to even matter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better football now. And you better if you win this weekend, you better take another massive leap, or Arkansas will humiliate you.
Yeah,
Sam Pittman and KJ Jefferson and Briles, who has had a you-know-what for Texas A&M. They can say what they want in that Briles camp. They always do. It's a very mouthy bunch, that the Briles supporters, that they go around coaching circles and just mouth off about A&M for years. Ever since he was at U of H, ever since he was at Tech, the Briles camp, but he would have crawled to this job. I know that for a fact, not once but twice. I had people calling me, lobbying for him to get the job. I think that was going back to Mike Sherman. Look, I mean, they want to go out and put it on A&M next weekend. So you have 2 weeks of you better be really mentally tough. And you better – I wish there was a way for everyone in that locker room to understand, like, everyone wants to see you fail. Everyone wants to laugh at you and your teammates and your coach, and everyone wants to see y'all as humiliated as you can be. That's what people desire. They're lining up waiting for that. Mike Leach, you don't think he's in that group?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to Starkville against a veteran team with a veteran defense. Like, to me, just act like you're walking into the freaking Coliseum in Rome, into the damn Lion's Den, and you're either going to get killed in there or you're going to walk out, and you're going to rip some, you know what, throats out along the way. And I wish everyone could take on that mentality of, you know, like, if you knew in any walk, profession or anything, that people are out there trying to get at you, trying to embarrass you, trying to take pleasure in your downfall, man, that would ramp up my fighting response so much. And I'm not some town badass that's just been spending his whole life walking around the streets kicking people's asses. But I'll tell you this, I would fight you to the bitter end, and you would get 10 times what I'm normally capable of, my focus, my fight, my, staying power in that thing. So I wish there was a way, and maybe this is that week that Jimbo can get that through to them. And Nuño, I'll be honest with you, I think this is one of those weeks where you don't do this. This is just another game. It's not. They're coming to take something from you, which is your season in your house in front of 100,000 people. And you let App State do that last weekend. If you let it happen again, there's a problem. And I'm not saying you can't lose. They don't need to lose. But you better go out there and play your asses off as a team.
I want to see those
and
extra
coach
yards.
your asses off and go in there and have out schemed. That battle's being fought right now.
Mm-hmm.
That battle's been fought all week between Jimbo Fisher, Mario Cristobal, and their I dropped my phone over here. Jimbo Fisher, Mario Cristobal, and that coaching staff. That battle's been fought all week.
Yeah. Let's talk Max, because this came out yesterday. He's going to be the guy. How did it come to this? I know what happened with Haynes, but I'm saying, like, just kind of give us a little bit of the backstory.
Well, I think what happened is they basically opened it up starting this week, starting Monday. And Nuño, I never thought that Jimbo had a choice in this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, Jimbo's going to try to. The worst I thought, not worst, but like, I think if he had any way he was going to keep Haynes, it was to split the first team reps most of the week and have Max ready to go second, third possession. First big mistake. But I didn't think that was the right answer either.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, then it opens the door for this back and forth. I think he did the right thing, and I thought he was going to do this the whole time. I just didn't think there was an option. You scored 7 points against a team that North Carolina scored 60 against the week before. You had really 10 points through 28 minutes. You had 1 touchdown through 28 minutes against Sam Houston. You go back to last year and 1 offensive touchdown against Colorado, 1 against Arkansas, none against Auburn. That is an unacceptable lack of production. There's got to be a spark, and I said it the other day to you, there's no position on the field where you can get more of a lift, potentially. It's not guaranteed, but you change quarterback in football, and it has the biggest impact. There's not another, a distant second would be changing a point guard on a basketball team. A distant second. You never see that. I guess in college you could see it, but there's nothing close to changing a quarterback and the impact it could have. So they opened it up this week. Now, I guess the only way Haynes would start is if Max had a really bad week of practice. Maybe then it's like, gosh, we can't. This guy's throwing picks all week in front of the whole team. What message does it send to play him? But that wasn't the case, fortunately, because that would have been, I think, the worst case scenario. So Max, pretty early in the week, I don't know for sure if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, started getting the majority, the normal first team reps, which maybe, I don't know if that's a 70-30 split or whatever that is. So Max 1, Haynes 2. Still, I think Haynes is the backup there for this week. And I think it was the right thing. I hate it. I hate it for Haynes. I like it for Max. I think this is why you signed him.
Yes.
I know everybody at Baton Rouge, Max is going to start, right? Yeah, of course. They didn't know anything about Haynes, and they didn't know anything about Jimbo and Haynes. Jimbo believes in his quarterback, and some would say to a fault. I would say he's seen something different than what Haynes has shown in the game. But at what point do you have to say, man, I got a guy on the bench that has played in games like this and played well? You haven't seen that from Haynes yet. You have seen that from Max, and the offense needs a spark. you got to take that shot. You have to. That's, again, he was the ultimate insurance policy. He could have won a starting job in camp. But at worst case, I said before the season, when Haynes won it, I said A&M's got the best backup quarterback in the SEC. I still think they have a great backup quarterback situation, but now Max is stepping in, and he has played better than a lot of quarterbacks in this league.
Yes, he has.
And he's played in the swamp and won. He's beaten Florida twice. He beat Ole Miss and Matt Corral in a wild shootout in Baton Rouge in the rain where he threw for like 350, almost 400. He beat A&M on a 4th down and long and completed the pass. And then in the final 30 seconds in his coach's last game at home at night, threw the touchdown pass, to win it. Showed all kinds of cojones in that one, getting sacked 5-6 times, whatever it was. He was in Alabama with the ball in the 4th quarter, driving LSU for the upset last year. So this dude's been there, done that. This isn't going to faze him. The moment's not going to faze him. Now we'll see if he can go out there and get the protection and make the throws.
Great piece of writing from you. I'm going to read it out loud because I love what you said here. Now the quarterback who ended A&M's season last time, he took the field as a starter in Baton Rouge, is essentially being asked to save the Ags season. Wild how it all works out, isn't it? And that is such the storyline right there.
It is crazy, right? And by the way, the first time, I think he basically earned the starting job at LSU at Kyle Field. In 2020, when TJ Finley couldn't get a point for LSU, they benched him, brought Max Johnson in. Now, they got a touchdown with like 20 seconds left, but he had 2 or 3 drives where he moved the ball on a day where LSU could do nothing, a night where they could do nothing, and I think he took over after that. So he kind of won the job at Kyle Field. He beat A&M in his last start, and now he's coming in, like I said, to save their season right now.
All right, we'll continue down that track here in a moment. Right now we're talking Milliken Reserve, a farm-to-table community in College Station, featuring homes, trails, and wide-open spaces. Their mission is to build a healthy community around nature, and they've done such a beautiful job of doing that. It's a great place to go hang out. If you like to go hiking, biking, and all that good stuff that you can do outdoors, Milliken Reserve is really the place to go hang out. Yeah, you can buy a house out there and live on a beautiful lot and enjoy all of that. But I'm telling you, if you just want to enjoy nature at its best, you go to Milliken Reserve. They've got all the species you can find. They're in that preserved woods, ponds, and creeks. They've got the white-tailed deer, the songbirds, the rabbits, the turtles. It's a place that generation after generation is going to come back to the exact same place, right? You're going to come back to nature. That's what they guarantee you there at Milliken Reserve. The website, millikenreserve.com. Again, that website is millikenreserve.com.
He's got the moves with the wit of Larry David.
What are you doing here?
Olin Buchanan, mornings at 8 on TexAgs Radio, here on The Zone.
Hello, St. Joseph Eagle fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Prosperity Bank, Strata Auto Repair, Kelly Burt Dozer, Fast Signs, Lone Star Roof Systems, Citizen State Bank, Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley, Krause Paint and Body, Reedfield Meats and Deli, Wings and More, Aggieland Golf Cars, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Hi, it's Jenny from your local Big Deal store. If you've never visited our website, you're missing out because we've partnered with some of the best local businesses in town. Dozens of gift certificates, all discounted, ready for you to buy today. Here are just a few of the businesses you'll find.
Prime 2125, Easy Phone Repairs, Buff City Soap Aggieland, Mr. Hamburger, and Play Oasis. Shop and save now at AggielandBigDeals.com.
Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long, thanks to
Kelly Burt Dozer, Frost Bank, Ed Phillips Plumbing, and Club Car Wash.
To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
Hi, I'm Jared McLeod with The Sleep Station. For years, Alicia and I have been telling you about the benefits of a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to our friend and Aggie wide receiver, Chase Lane.
If you feel as beat up at the end of the day as I do after a game, you need a Tempur-Pedic mattress from The Sleep Station. It alleviates all my soreness and I always wake up feeling refreshed.
With interest-free financing and 2 convenient locations, you can purchase your Tempur-Pedic mattress today and sleep on it tonight. Aggie-owned, Aggie-operated. Visit thesleepstation.com.
The golf may be miniature, but the impact is major. Join the Salvation Army of Bryan College Station for Putting the Most Good, a mini golf tournament with a mission on Thursday, October 20th at 10 a.m. at Big Shots Golf. Register your team of 2 in a friendly competition with prizes for the winning team. Funds raised will help the Salvation Army continue their important services in our community. Sponsorship opportunities available. Join us in doing the most good by putting the most good, October 20th at Big Shots Golf. Register now at salvationarmybcs.org.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Belichick's an excellent coach. I would never doubt that. But we said he was the GOAT. If you're the GOAT, you got to be doing a little better than this since Brady left. It's year 3 now. Stop! If you're the GOAT, if you're the GOAT, you can't be the 3rd best team in your division because your quarterback left 3 years ago.
It's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, powered by WC Tractor, here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Miami, South Beach, bringing the heat, Can y'all feel that? Can y'all feel that? Jig it out, Here I am in the place where I come let go. In Miami, the base and the sunset low. Every day like a Mardi Gras. Everybody party all day. No work, all play, okay? So we sip a little something, leave the rest to spill. Me and Charlie at the bar running up a high bill. Nothing less than ill when we dress to kill. Every time the ladies pass, they be like,
All right, we're back. TexAgs Radio. Dalton talking some smack here. We are here in the Rollo Insurance Studio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, and we're going to go straight to the hotline. Caroline Fenton joins us every Friday. She felt our pain a couple weeks back when LSU lost to Florida State. Now we're in a little bit of pain, but I'm feeling good this morning, Caroline. I feel good about our Aggies. Good morning.
Good morning, and you should feel good. You know, it's a little bit of a gut punch on Saturday night, but it's the classic just roller coaster of emotions as a fan. I always say you have to go through the 5 stages of grief as a football fan after a loss like that, but we'll bounce back.
I thought the stages of grief were 7. We passed 5, but I think we probably have a couple more to go before game day. Make us feel better, Caroline. Tell me about Max Johnson. What is A&M going to see Saturday?
He's tough. He's a really tough player. I mean, he had all of the odds stacked against him last year. I mean, going into the 2021 season, he wasn't supposed to be the starting quarterback. Miles Brennan broke his arm fishing like a couple weeks before fall camp. So Max Johnson was just had this starting quarterback position thrust upon him, and he really took it in stride. He's a really tough player. He's a smart player. You know, he's the son of a former player, son of a coach. So he just has a really good football brain, smart player, tough guy. And I think that he is kind of the refresh that this Aggie team needs. And he's going to be able to run the ball. He's going to be able to throw the ball. He'll protect the football. He's a good quarterback.
Caroline, where did he, I guess, strive and where did he struggle? Where were his biggest highs and the biggest lows?
I'll start with the biggest low. So we'll end on a positive note because I know we need some of those going over there in College Station. I would look at the UCLA game last year, and he made some very questionable decisions. He had like a behind the back, like little pitch throw that was thrown for an interception. We were all like, what are you doing? Just take care of the football. You know, you're going to get sacked, throw the ball away. It's not sexy and it's not a flashy way to go out there, but also just take care of the football and keep the ball moving. It's better to just turn the ball. It's not as good to turn the ball over. Just go ahead and turn over on downs. So that was one thing with Max Johnson, was some of the decision making and almost trying to play hero ball a little bit too much last year. And I think that was also a result of being a young player and trying to really prove himself, knowing that he was not named the starting quarterback, and he was the starting quarterback because he had to go in for Miles Brennan. So I think that was one thing, was just don't try and play hero ball. Don't try and get cute with it. Just play safe football. But I think the biggest thing with Max Johnson is just he has a really high football IQ, and that's such a buzzword in football, but it really is true. I think he has a good command of the field. I think he has good vision of the football field, and I think that he learned throughout the year how to protect the football and when to run in certain situations, when to throw the ball in certain situations. So there was a lot of growth that Max Johnson made last year. But I always look back to some of those decisions that he made in the beginning of last year. Just don't play hero ball. Just play it safe.
That's an interesting point because we saw what she's talking about in terms of that progress.
Yeah.
He didn't make any mistakes in Death Valley the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's the only reason LSU won that game. But now you wonder, kind of a similar situation. Didn't win the job out of camp, coming in, knows they're expecting him to go out there and perform well. Do we get early season Max that's trying, or do we get this veteran that now has kind of figured it out? It'll be fascinating to see. Well, first of all, how important a game from someone sitting there on the outside with an LSU background. I know you followed Jimbo a lot. And then also being, you're kind of overlooking and covering the entire SEC here. How big a game is this in this particular season, and then also big picture for Jimbo and the Aggies?
I think that a bounce back is so necessary because I think everyone is looking at Jimbo. And I look at 3 games in particular in the SEC last week that were kind of uncharacteristic or kind of strange performances. And I've asked myself, it was Alabama, Florida, and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I asked myself, is that a defining moment for your season? Is that just a little peek of what's to come for the rest of your season? Is that who you are? Was that a fluke, or do we just not know? And I think in order to define that for Texas A&M, it all falls on Jimbo Fisher and how he's able to make those adjustments. I think this Miami game is so key because it's a really interesting matchup. Miami is a good team. Art Crispall's a good coach. It's how does Jimbo start to make those adjustments? I think it's beyond just changing the starting quarterback. I think it also falls in the offensive system. So I look at some of the play calling last week from Jimbo, and even the week before. I thought, Jimbo, you're trying to do too much from 2013. Bring this offense into 2022, start to shake things up a little bit, start to have a little bit more pizzazz and a little bit more spice in the offense. That's not going to happen overnight. But I think if you start to see some of those adjustments starting against Miami this week, I think that's going to be what defines Texas A&M season is how can you turn things around? How can you change some of those mistakes and start to change what went wrong against App State and build upon that moving forward? Because Jimbo's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They didn't pump all that money into his contract, into all of those recruits for them to just ditch Jimbo at the first sign of adversity.
Caroline, how are you feeling about LSU? Big matchup this weekend, obviously, with Mississippi State. Are you feeling better? Because I don't know if last week is really representative of who they are, but at least it was a step, right?
It was a step. And you might look at it on paper and say, oh, it was Southern. It was an FCS opponent. You can't take much away from that. And I disagree because I think I saw some of the changes that needed to be made against Southern. They switched up the offensive line. Snapping the ball was an issue against Florida State. They changed the center. They brought in a more veteran guy to play center, so that was good. They changed the punt returner. He didn't muff a punt, so that's progress.
That is.
So some of the changes that need to be made personnel-wise were made. Also saw Jaden Daniels throw the ball a little bit more. That was one of my problems with him against Florida State, was he just deferred to the run way too quickly and way too much. Of course, you're going to get pressured against Mississippi State so much more than you would against Southern, but I like to see that he would step back and go through his progressions more last week than he did week 1. So those are all good things. But this is a really big game for Brian Kelly. I mean, this is your first SEC game, and a win against Mississippi State would start to change a lot of the bad narratives surrounding Brian Kelly, that he can't do it at LSU, that he can't win big games, so on and so forth. But I think that this Mississippi State team has way too many veterans and way too much continuity. And LSU just has too many new players. They have too many, little pieces that have patched together through the transfer portal and true freshmen. This team just hasn't really found its identity yet. And Mississippi State very much so has. So I honestly, I'm not expecting a win this weekend, but it is a very, very crucial game for Brian Kelly to start to at least see some changes from the Florida State game. Just a quick start, come out the gates early and start just playing hard.
I guess my final one for this week would be Auburn, Penn State. I mean, they treated it, was it last season? They treated us to a hell of a game in Happy Valley.
Yeah.
This year, I haven't watched much of them. I haven't been very impressed with either. This is obviously a monster game for both guys. James Franklin quietly has been one of the more underperforming high-paid coaches in the sport. They like to
won 7 games last year.
Yeah, and it felt like they were fortunate to get there. Remember the year before how bad they were.
Yeah.
And we know about Brian Harsin. How do you see this one going? And is the losing coach, is that going to be an absolutely devastating loss for either one of them?
That's tough for me because where it stands right now, I almost think it doesn't matter what Brian Harsin does. He's on his way out.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing for Auburn fans is I think he wants to win games. I think he's not just hanging it up knowing that the boosters can't stand him. He wants to win games. And I think he wants to prove to Auburn fans that he can do it. But boosters have never been more important now than they've ever been. And the boosters hate him. So they want him out. So I'm thinking no matter what he does, he's on his way out. So that makes it makes it difficult for me to get really excited about any Auburn game this year, honestly. I don't think that James Franklin is going to be on his way out. He just got an extension. He just got a massive raise in the offseason. But I do think that if Penn State can't win this game, Penn State fans are going to be looking at him like this is an Auburn team that is defeated, a coach that they don't believe in, and you can't beat him. Yeah. I think Penn State fans are going to start having a few more question marks about James Franklin if they do lose this game. But I think that Penn State wins. I think Penn State wins it. I mean, Auburn struggled against San Jose State. Tank Bigsby is a bad man now. Auburn's got a nice running game. But I think with Sean Clifford, he's been at Penn State for forever. They have, more seniority at Penn State. I don't really believe in TJ Finley, to be completely honest with you. He spent his freshman year at LSU, didn't take care of the football, made sloppy decisions.
Beat out by Max Johnson.
Exactly. Yeah. And that 2020 season. So yeah, I've taken Penn State with this one. I think Brian Harsin's on his way out no matter what, but I think James Franklin is going to be in Happy Valley, at least for the foreseeable future.
Caroline, I want to close up with Alabama. Not to put too much focus on that game against Texas, but a lot of the things that we thought Alabama could have issues with, that offensive line, those wide receivers seemed to show up. Mm-hmm. But one thing was constant is Bryce Young on a last drive knows what to do.
And that's the reason why, looking at those games last week, I'm like, okay, is that who you are or is that a fluke? I think that was a fluke for Alabama. And I think that they're going to continue to win games because of Bryce Young, because he's just that kind of quarterback that can win games for you. If you just look at that last drive, the plays that he was able to orchestrate, converted on a 4th down, push the ball downfield 70, 80 yards. He did it with his legs. He did it in the air. He was a very professional quarterback in that final drive of the game. And I think that Alabama single-handedly won that game because of Bryce Young. I mean, he was delivering just beautiful balls to his wide receivers that were just dropping them. But I think that Alabama will continue to find success. One, because Nick Saban doesn't tolerate that kind of, undisciplined play. And also, two, because Bryce Young is just that good.
It's fascinating to me, guys, that, that reminded me so much of that Auburn game. And what's really fascinating to me is if you throw in Texas and you count the 8 SEC games last year, and the 2 games against Georgia, that's 10. Texas is 11. I believe 5, 7, 8 of Alabama's 11 games, not counting count Cincinnati, against Power 5 teams have been decided in the second half of the 4th quarter.
Yep.
That is wild for Nick Saban. And I think if you don't see that Alabama has come back to the pack a little bit, I think it's something that people aren't noticing. And I'd caution the fans in Austin about that too, because they think that they've arrived after that game. That had the atmosphere. You had a coach that knows their entire roster, that knows Nick Saban inside and out. They had every advantage in that one. Knows Bryce inside and out. They had every advantage in that one. And credit Bama, they still won. But, man, I don't know what it is. I've got a theory. You got ties to Houston, Caroline. You cover the team. I think it's the damn Bill O'Brien factor. Yep. Maybe I'm crazy, but we'll see as the year goes on.
Bill O'Brien's awful.
He's the worst.
I mean, I'm surprised he's still in Tuscaloosa, but you're totally right that last year, I mean, Alabama, if you just look at the final score against Tennessee, it looks like Alabama but blew out Tennessee. Yeah. It was a close game at the half. They just narrowly beat LSU by a touchdown because Max Johnson couldn't move the ball, like literally 6 more inches. Same thing with Auburn. A&M beat them last year. I mean, Alabama isn't this unbeatable force, this behemoth that they have been in the past.
And yet they still are number 1 or 2 the rest
I'll
of the
tell
way.
you who's certainly not an unbeatable behemoth in the picks are me and you. We're bringing
Not
up the
impressive.
rear, Caroline. We need to step it up this week. And like we're still within striking distance because here's something I told you beforehand. We all suck. So you're fine. Just give it hang in there, and who knows?
It does make me feel better.
A lot of mediocrity.
On our radio show, we do picks every Friday, college and NFL, and I am currently 4-12.
Okay,
so
yeah, it's
not doing great across the board, but minor setback, major comeback.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not going to bring it up that I'm only a game ahead of you guys because I'm in
Yeah.
the rear as well. So it is what it is.
It's like the SEC West behind Alabama. It's a crowded pack, and anyone can beat anyone.
Caroline, we appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Awesome. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, Caroline.
Thanks very much. All right. Right now, we're talking Costa Vida. Love me some Holly and Costa Vida. Great work out there. She stopped by the TexAgs tailgate last Saturday. She's going to be back at it this upcoming Saturday. So if you come by TexAgs, get yourself some Costa Vida. They got amazing food out there. They're also going to be at the fan zone outside of Kyle Field before the game with their brand new food trailer. So it's really good food out there. You'll love it. Thank you for everybody who did stop by. Amazing food out there. At Costa Vida. If you haven't been, it's in South College Station. The food is delicious. It's fresh Mex the way you love it. And it's just great service. They have breakfast. They got lunch. They got dinner. You name it. And they're open all the time now. Breakfast tacos during the week served until 10:30 a.m. Such a delicious place to go. Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8:30. And don't forget, they are incredible at catering. They really are. The catering menu that they have out there for your tailgate or for whatever work event you may have has a little bit of everything. I'll read you a couple of their options. The 12th taco bar, which is fantastic. The pass it back burrito and eat the hell out of nacho bar. So delicious. It is Costa Vida. And don't forget, they got the Ryan Targach combo there as well. Go check it out in South College Station.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on The Zone. You're invited to Get Growing with Master Gardeners Wildlife Photography, Sunday, September 18th at 3 p.m. at Lick Creek Park. Register at the College Station Parks and Rec website. The Bush School is hosting a panel titled Monkeypox, Have We Learned Anything from COVID-19? Monday, September 19th at 5:30 p.m. Register online at bush.tamu.edu/events. Brazos Valley Beekeepers are hosting their annual Bee School on Saturday, September 24th at First Baptist Church in Bryan. The full-day school has over 50 classes with many hot bee topics. Visit bvbeaks.org for more information. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Start your sports day with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, powered by WC Tractor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 8 on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Or just tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150. WC Tractor is your local award-winning Kubota and New Holland dealer. Call them with your questions at 1-888-8-TRACTOR. That's 1-888-8-TRACTOR. Or check them out online at WCTractor.com. Rise and shine. Weekday mornings from 5 to 8 with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max from ESPN Radio. Powered by WC Tractor. Here on The Zone.
I couldn't help but notice that your jaw dropped at the same time as your tailgate. Do tell. It's my first tailgate of the season, and I forgot to grab the food and drinks. Now I'm just standing in a parking lot with a hot grill and empty coolers. Pump the brakes on your tailgate hate, for Specs has thousands of ways to raise your team's spirits with a colossal selection of world-class wines, hard-to-find spirits, and ice-cold seltzers and beers. What say the parched Parker now? My parking lot faux pas was no match for Specs' plethora of low-priced perfection. Now I'll take my spot in the pregame Hall of Fame and kick back until kickoff in 6 hours. You certainly put the day in game day. And with Specs' lower prices, you'll save enough for tickets to the actual game. You're welcome. Specs. Cheers to savings.
There's something special happening in College Station.
Because there ain't a better place to go to school and play ball. We don't like it, we're coming on. Get used to it, all right? We ain't going nowhere.
Bring the noise, 12th man. This is our time. Join us Saturday. Texas A&M hosts the Miami Hurricanes. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. on your home for Aggie football. The Texas A&M Sports Network. Gig 'em.
Listen to Aggie football on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Online at radioaggieland.com. Or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
And we're back. TexAgs Radio here in the Rollo Insurance Studio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Appreciate Billy just leaving. That was nice. Thanks, Billy. Want to say hello to the Lannons who are hanging out with us here in studio. They are, because of the Dallas coaching night, they got to hang out. So they're getting to see how we do a show. And they're like, I wish I didn't come. I thought it was a lot cooler till I got here. But Michael's here, Matthew, Krista, and Michael. Got all of those right? All right. I had to refer to an email because I don't remember names. I always do one of these like, Billy's just looking at me. I got it. Don't worry, Billy. I got it. If you want to, no, I'm going. It's part of the segment. If you want to be a part of the show, you can text us on the A&B text line, 979-693-1150. I could have finished the segment. It's fine.
No, I didn't realize if it was a 1 minute segment or a 3.
We got about 3 minutes left.
Let's talk.
So maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Bryce Foster potentially coming back.
I would expect him to start.
How big of a deal should that be?
With so little practice, I wouldn't sit there. I've seen crazier things happen than a guy finish the week starting and come out, and then you come out Saturday and they're not starting. But I would expect him to start. Look, I think the whole O-line has not played well at all through 2 games, and I think you're going to see a lot of it. It's so weird to me because I'm kind of like, good, they need change, but I'm also going, man, the App State was a real game, as we saw, but we're into the meat of the schedule now, and I think you're going to see some different things up front. Wyckoff worked at guard this week. Aggie worked at tackle this week at right tackle. Where Fathery, I'm not saying – I said that, and people were like, oh, does that mean Fathery's not starting? No, it doesn't mean that, but it means like they're trying to figure out their best 5, and I think you're going to see them – try to figure it out during the game unless the Aggies just hit the ground running. I think the normal starting 5 will be out there, but if they're not getting what they want, don't be surprised to see you look up on one drive and somebody else is out there, and it's not optimal, it's not ideal, but on the flip side, something does need to change because that product is not getting it done, and I don't think it's as simple as saying, hey, let's put Bryce at center and all's good. I think that's a big boost and a big upgrade, and I think it really will be in coming weeks as Bryce continues to round into form. But, man, all this talk about Max Johnson, and the one thing you might say is, well, I hope we're not saying, well, the guy's proven he's used to playing behind a crappy offensive line, because that's what he had last year at LSU, and that was not supposed to be the case here with Bryce, Layden, Deuce, and a lot of guys to fill out those other 2 spots. And I think Trey Zune's really talented, and I think he's going to figure it out. This guy's played 2 games in his college career. But there are a lot of options. There's no reason this shouldn't be a quality O-line, and it needs to start this week.
All right, when we come back, it's the final countdown. The McKinney
brothers.
Brothers.
Good 3 minutes.
That was great. The best 3 minutes of my life.
Really?
No, really.
Okay,
It was just an average
God.
3 minutes. Yeah, that would have been awkward. A lot of jokes out there. All right, we'll come back. A&B text line.
By the way,
open.
Nuño, well, I'm going to save it for when the McKinneys
You
are
gonna make
in
fun of
here.
me again?
See, this is the thing. I'm not making fun of you. I'm having fun with you.
Okay.
Y'all get that, right? We're picking on you because we love you and because what you did yesterday is absolutely unacceptable on every level, and your face tells me
I already know where
that
you're
you
going.
know it's true.
I know where you're going. We're back.
On Sports Talk, Jimbo takes listeners behind the scene every Wednesday at 4:15.
You got to get guys in the box. You got to tackle well in space and get them in 3rd and long. But then their quarterback's very dynamic. The tight end's dynamic. The receivers can play. I mean, you're going to have to play a complete football game and get off the field and then keep the ball in offense.
Sports Talk, amaze your friends with Aggie football knowledge. Served without Kool-Aid every weekday afternoon since 1994 here on The Zone.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
This is Aggieland's home for Aggie football, Aggie basketball, and Aggie baseball. The Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Plus online at RadioAggieland.com. This is KZNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. A unanimous Bryan Planning and Zoning Commission recommends for the second time in 6 weeks to deny Bryan ISD's rezoning request to build a transportation and maintenance center at Leonard Road and Harvey Mitchell Parkway. P&Z disagreed with the city staff's recommendation to approve the rezoning. P&Z member Jared Salvato said they have a different responsibility.
City staff's role is to what can legally be built, what physically can be built. But I think as our roles as being appointed by the City Council is to be the subjective side of this.
The City Council is scheduled to take final action October 11th. Bryan City Council members have set the prices for using the soon-to-open Legends Event Center. Without discussion at this week's meeting, approval was given for a rate schedule that begins at $5 a day for Bryan residents to use the gym when it's open. Non-residents will pay $10 a day. The most expensive rate is $8,000 a day to rent the entire center for a cheerleading, dance, or a competition involving mats. The College Station City Council's last budget amendment for the current fiscal year includes spending an unplanned $197,000 for collecting trash. Fiscal Services Director Mary Ellen Leonard told the City Council the additional cost is related to paying overtime as the result of truck and supply chain issues.
Because we have truck breakdowns, even if we're staffed up, we have people who have to work additional overtime in order to be able to get all of the routes complete. So we need some additional funds in solid waste for that overtime.
Leonard says there is one open position in College Station's solid waste department and 2 other positions were recently filled. A Madison County man who admitted to the burglary of a Bryan home 6 years ago has violated terms of his plea agreement for the second time. That led a Brazos County judge to sending 33-year-old Robert Strickland to prison to serve a 3-year sentence. For more news, go online to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Come experience The Warehouse at CC Creations, the world's greatest Aggie shopping experience. With 28,750 square feet, The Warehouse at CC Creations is the Guinness World Records title holder for the largest collegiate merchandise store in the world. We are your one-stop shop for your entire family to stock up on Aggie apparel and gifts. Shop in-store 7 days a week or online at thewarehouseatcc.com. Keep the tradition. Shop The Warehouse, located at 114 Holloman, just 1 mile south of Kyle Field.
The flagship station for Aggie athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and Aggie broadcast sponsors, Zwerneman Flooring, Lance Lester at the Lester Group, Specs Wines, Spirits, and Finer Foods, and Amarillo National Bank. Here's a big gig 'em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. 24th ranked Texas A&M football welcomes number 13 Miami to town tomorrow. Aggie head man Jimbo Fisher has plenty of history with the Hurricanes, stemming from his time at Florida State. Fisher Seminoles went 7-1 against their rival, but his coach says it was never easy.
First of all, it was a very important game for us, like every game was. It was one of the rivalry games in which you had, and we had very good players. We had good players and good teams, and we coached very well and had them ready to play. And we always we found those inches. We found those inches in those games. Like, you go back to a lot of those games, we won. A couple of them won significant, and a couple of them, man, were one possession games. We were able to make those plays down the road right at the end to be everyone. Matter of fact, we even blocked a PAT one time down there to win, just like Florida State did the other night. We blocked a PAT down there against them one year and won 20-19.
Now, multiple outlets report that transfer junior quarterback Max Johnson will get the start for the Aggies tomorrow. That was first reported by TexAgs' Billy Lucci. Johnson replaces Haynes King, who struggled in his first 2 games as QB1. Kickoff is tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Kyle Field. The Zone Game Day Show, sponsored by TexAgs, gets underway at 5 right here on The Zone. And Texas A&M Soccer kicks off its conference run this evening as it takes on Georgia at Ellis Field. First kick is at 7 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hokomata Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
It's Larry from Shelby, previously on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The host of ESPN's Countdown to College Game Day joining us right now, Christine Williamson. Let me start with last weekend in Austin. What was it like being there and that atmosphere?
Even though they were still trying to keep the energy, you could tell that there was a lot of tension amongst the fans.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, powered by Polaris Fun Center, 2 to 4 weekdays on The Zone.
Here we go. That's how we start the segment. TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is time for the final countdown. The McKinney brothers. Hello, guys.
What's going on?
Steve McKinney, Scott Winters.
I don't even know what this means. All right, let me in on the joke. It's fine.
It's not a joke.
It's reality.
This is what really happened.
Scott Winters, Nuño, are you familiar?
I'm familiar. The guy at Goodwill Hunting that nobody liked.
Did he tell you?
He told me, but I've seen
the guy at Goodwill Hunting where he goes, is that what you do? You walk into a bar, you steal other people's information, pawn it off as your own, try to impress a girl. That's what you do?
Goodness.
That's what Seth meant. Remember a few weeks ago, McGee was on, and he said, well, I was talking to Seth McKinney at lunch yesterday.
Yeah, like anybody.
And that was information he got straight from me.
That was public.
That was
public information. I've never betrayed you. That's fine. I did not pawn it off as my own.
You may need to grow a ponytail.
Knows, if they're talking to me, do you think I got any inside information that I was not given from someone else?
You may need to grow a ponytail and start wearing a cardigan.
You like apples? Is that the same guy?
Yes.
I need a napkin.
That is
I literally,
classic.
You know the phrase, spit out your coffee.
Freaking Scott Winters.
And we have Dr. Nuño joining us today.
Dr. Nuño. I thought he was the critiquer. Now he's a doctor?
The form doctor.
He knew this was coming as soon as our friend in the gym walked up and said, hey, thanks for that advice.
In front of you?
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
He paid him off to play back.
No,
he looked at me.
Way. This couldn't have gone any better.
Here comes the segment.
He looked at me and goes, oh, man. He's giving out medical advice to people at the gym now.
Oh, nice.
On top of
supplements, suggestions, and stuff.
Here's the
Doctor
deal.
advice.
It's not even medical advice. He's handing out alternative medical advice, Eastern medicine.
Take some
to
echinacea.
people. What's the type doctor you recommend?
I suggested he go to a Rosti. All right,
Rosti.
Yeah,
Rosti's great.
I've been
right?
to a Rosti.
I've got no complaints with a Rosti.
The guy had a shoulder issue, and I suggested, hey, it might be muscular somewhere else, and you're pushing, and so. But Billy thinks it's like I'm telling him, injecting him with herbs or something.
I can see how Lucci would get there.
Dr. Nuño.
All right,
Dr. Nuño, take us through the prognosis
give me
for
a
this
prescription.
game.
do we start positive or do we go look back? What are we doing here?
I
think you look back and
brief
how
look
it ties
back,
to this game. Yeah.
Well, I'll start things off with Max Johnson, now the starter, and how that affects what we think we'll see this week, because there were a lot more issues than just the quarterback last week. But that is a quick fix.
As you know, as Joe fan, I love it. You know, I mean that. Right, I'm not on the team. I'm not in the trenches with those guys. But as an outside observer and a fan, I'm like, good. I'm glad to see that, because you know what? No offense to the kid, he wasn't being effective at his position. And you can be a team with lesser quality and have a great quarterback make up a lot of ground, but you can't have both. You know what I mean? So I mean, maybe he makes no difference. Maybe he does. But I think that Max will go in there and he'll ball out. I know for sure he'll be the leader. He'll be a leader. I'm not going to say he'll be some kind of better leader, but he'll be a great leader for those guys to follow. And as a fan, it gives me hope to know that there are at least some changes being made over there in Brighton. I'm excited to see what they roll out.
Yeah, I mean,
I like what you just said about changes.
Yeah, I mean, you had
something.
You had to make a change. Absolutely. I mean, you can't kind of look poor against Sam Houston State, still win 31-0 or whatever the score was, and then you go into App State and just look completely ineffective offensively and just do nothing, right? That can't be an option. So, I mean, at least you got a guy that's on the bench, that's battle-tested, played in the SEC, won good games in the SEC. Give yourself a chance. Yeah. You got to see what else you got. You got two, and by the way, you got another quarterback that's really good too. That may not be quite ready, but he may be the most talented one in the whole bunch.
You know, that's y'all both made great points. I think you need to change, not for the sake of change, but because
it was warranted.
This is desperate times calling for desperate measures.
Exactly.
This is you are in DEFCON 1 for not only your season, but how you're going to be perceived nationally for the next year. You don't have a chance to change any opinions if this year blows up on you. You're going to go on the recruiting trail not only to finish 23 but to start 24, and we know how classes are so worked up before a season even starts. You're going to go out there and there ain't going to be a positive thing said about you until a year from now at the earliest.
Yeah.
And that doesn't count for morale within the program and the free transfer portal. I'm not saying things that are taking it 100 steps too far if there's a bad season. And that's where the reach is right now.
Right. And I think
they are not at a bad season yet. If they win these next two Saturdays, I don't care what anybody says. If you don't think that App State is washed if you beat number 13 Miami, the U, and you go beat Arkansas in a battle of like number 8 or 9 versus number 19, App State is washed, and you've won two much more important games than the one you lost.
No question.
So we're not there yet, but the product we've seen will put us there. So I think, guys, you don't just change quarterbacks. I think you look at the whole operation.
Oh,
and say,
absolutely.
what do we need to change? I think that O-line, I could see them make a change. Getting Bryce back is going to help. We'll talk about that in a second. I think you should look at all options up front because they've stunk. I think you should look at playing another running back, not in place of A-Chain, but just to kind of change up the feel for the defense, which they haven't done that at all. And I think defensively, the biggest thing will be you're getting certain guys back that you haven't had, and that's significant.
And, after last week, you could just say no one's earned anything, and they haven't.
Yeah.
No one deserves to be on that field except for A-Chain. And, everybody made mistakes. He had his or whatever, but he was the one that you could look at and go, you played the best out of anybody. But, I mean, not to backtrack too much, but I think that you have to do these next few games are just huge. Yeah. It's a different world that we live in than in 1996, the last type deal when this happened. When you've got something like that happen, you're in the NIL world. You're in the world where they can transfer in December, no questions asked.
Yeah.
And then the recruiting world is so much earlier, and just everybody knows everything.
Lines up.
Everybody knows everything. Exactly,
and
they do.
The vultures on Twitter, and you can say Twitter doesn't matter, but that's where all the kids live.
Right,
that's where all the recruits live.
And that stuff matters.
I didn't live anywhere because I'm telling you, after a loss like that, I went into a complete media blackout.
Retreat,
I don't want to see no evil, hear no evil. I know nothing can be said good about A&M right now. The only thing, like Billy said, that can wash this taste out of your mouth is go win these next two ball games.
And that's the beauty of it. And I was saying that. I was like, look, we get to find out really, really quick who we are.
Yeah.
I was like, that wasn't who we are. It wasn't. It was just a horrible, horrible game, inexcusable, but that's not who we are. But we really get to find out who we are.
Well, the beauty of where A&M is today versus 1996 is that, because I happen to be on that team, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
Oh, hey, I didn't say it. I was just saying a date.
Well, you brought it up.
But it's a good comparison season. I think a 96 and I think a 2011.
Well, I don't want to compare it.
Preseason top 10. And
we didn't finish that season too great.
That's what I'm saying.
But the difference between that season and this season is that we went down there and blew that game, right? We didn't. We actually whooped them up and down the field and just gave it to them.
That was crazy.
Which is opposite of what happened Saturday.
That's true.
We got whooped up and down the field.
Yeah, you did.
It was different. But we didn't have any games to go redeem ourselves. This schedule allows you these next 4 games.
Yeah.
You're going to find out.
Yeah.
Does this team want to fight? They got the talent, but do they have talent that wants to fight and win?
Exactly.
Or are they just happy to be here and already thinking about their NFL careers and getting better in the offseason?
You're right, and I'll be so bitterly I'll be disgusted if this team doesn't at least match the intensity and the fight shown by these next 2 teams, and I think they should exceed it. Arkansas humiliated them last year. Miami's coming in here to humiliate them. They're both trying to come in and physically make A&M quit. Screw that. If I'm A&M, forget that. I'm coming. It's go time. And I'll give you a little history lesson, though. I hope A&M is this team. How many times, guys, when you guys were playing, I remember this happened a lot because we were all living together and we'd talk about it, and Texas Tech would lose to North Texas. Well, they're not going to be any good, and then this is not Mike Leach, this is Sonny Dykes, and they'd come back and beat A&M a couple weeks later. Or we see that every year with teams in the SEC. Man, LSU lost to Troy. I know they did because it took A&M a while until 7 overtimes to beat LSU. LSU in Edo's first year got beat at home by Troy pretty handily, 28-7, 28-14. They got beat by Troy. They came back later in the year and beat A&M. And so in the SEC of all things, last year, Mississippi State lost to Memphis. Mm-hmm. They looked bad. They were so bad in year 1 under Leach. They lost to Memphis in the second game. Okay, we'll win that one. No, you won't. So A&M needs to become that team. And if you don't think it can happen, then you're just caught up in your feelings and you don't watch college football.
And here's the deal about it is that, putting on the Joe fan hat again, why are you going to get worked up? There's nothing that you can do but support this team. And I hate to I'm not trying to put on those glasses and ignore what happened last week. Yeah. But you have to – that's what being a fan is all about. You have to hope that we've got the answers. And guess what? I can look and see that, you know what? He did make a change. So you know what? I see it as a change, and I'm happy about that. And we have a chance, and we'll know real soon if we can meet what I've got in my head, which is if we go – I'm going to speak crazy right now, okay? So if we go 10-2 and lose to Bama, I think that's okay. If we go 9-3 and beat Bama, I think that's about the most you can get after suffering a loss like you did at App State. Anything less than 9-3 and beating Bama, I think is
I want
you're
the
going
App
to look
State,
back and be like, that's bad.
In a perfect world, the App State game looms incredibly large, but not because it ruins your season and not because – there's 2 ways for that game to loom large, because that game showed who you really are, and you cruise on to 6-6, 5-7, or worse. Or
I don't want that world.
Or that game was your bottom out, and that game changed everything in terms of the mindset and the approach. Mm-hmm. And I want that game to be one that we look at and go, "Oh my God, if they just wouldn't have lost that game." And I don't mean. I'm not going to get so carried away and say this is the game that kept them out of the playoffs or kept them.
I forget that. I just want to have a good year.
I want the perfect storm. That game keeps you out of a New Year's Six. Yeah. You're 9-3 and you should have been 10-2 and back in the New Year's Six.
Right.
They're so far away from that. But that conversation, could sound a lot more realistic if they move the ball tomorrow night, look good, and beat Miami.
But you know what's
and then
crazy?
You go into Arkansas.
But hold on, you can't just say that, because these type of losses change the locker room.
Yeah, they do.
You think about last year. I mean, if we don't lose to Mississippi State, do we practice with that same intensity and beat Alabama?
No,
maybe not.
I don't think so.
Who knows if we squeak by and Haynes hits Anias and we end up winning that game 21-17. Maybe we're not making changes. Maybe we're rolling into Miami with the same quarterback, the same offensive line, the same running backs.
You're probably right, because we hit a game-winning pass in the fourth.
Yeah, and then you start losing games that people will remember, because if you win some of these, Miami, play Alabama close or beat them, and then you beat Arkansas, Mississippi State, you win those games, people remember those.
Right.
They'll remember those wins.
What does changing quarterback do for a locker room, though? How does it –
I can tell you from my perspective, it gives you hope as a player. You have the whole week of hope. Oh, man, look, I'm so glad they did. I mean, it happens. Everybody's got their personal feelings about a guy. And if you think that a guy is better, you're going to acknowledge that and be like, oh, thank goodness they made that change. You know, that gives me all this motivation to go out and practice and protect him, all that stuff. And, you know, from what I can tell, the team's going to rally around him and do that. We got the guys, man. We got the guys to be really good. They just have to go out and mentally do it. And they did get physically whipped. They did. But, they've got the guys to be the team that they need to be.
Well, this offensive line's got to come together.
That's true.
They have got to figure this
Bryce,
stuff out.
that's a big deal, man. Getting him back is big. I hope he's healthy.
It is a big deal if he comes out and is the Bryce that we had at the end of last year.
I know.
I don't know what version of Bryce we're going to get. I hope it's version.
We'll see
if it
real
is,
quick.
we'll be better. We'll be a better offensive line. But there's still guys.
Can Wyckoff play guard?
Sure. Yeah, he can absolutely play guard. He's big enough, strong enough, athletic enough. He could easily
my
play
biggest
guard.
thing would be if he knows
He'd be better
blocking
suited
the
at
right
guard.
guys, you know, because it's very clear that there's some misses inside and miscommunication.
Well, I would say that center, you know what's up at guard. I mean, there's some intricate little guard things, but
y'all
if you
both
play
done
center,
it, right?
yeah.
If you play center, you should know what everybody's doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you see, to me, I didn't pay attention completely to what every assignment was, but I did notice the snaps being a little too high for Haynes. And just.
But we talked about this. Remember, we talked about this the first show we did. I said the guy's too tall to play center. You're 6'7", you're going against a guy that's 6'2". You're leaning. When you lean, your butt comes up. When your butt comes up, the snap can go high.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
It's not easy, man. In our day and age, we didn't do a lot of running out of the gun. It just
It is
didn't
hard.
happen.
It is
That's
hard
a
to
very, very
shotgun
difficult
snap out of
thing
a
to do.
run play.
So I really don't. I have empathy for them, if you will. But I mean, they got to get it right. I mean, it's what you do. So fix it somehow. I mean, spend the time to do what you got to do to get that right. That's what I'd say.
All right, we'll come back with more. We got the final countdown with the McKinney brothers, Billy, Steve, and Seth. It's TexAgs Radio.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Brazos County Master Gardeners invite you to Learning at the Library, Wildlife Photography, Saturday, September 17th at 10 a.m. at the Mounts Library. This free event is open to the public. The Bush Museum Storytellers Guild. They're hosting historical impressionist Peter M. Small as President George Washington. Join them on Tuesday. For reservations, email bush.education@nara.gov. The Rotary Club of College Station invites your children to go wild with Roar, Rotary, and Reading. Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Mounts Library in downtown Bryan. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When your diesel truck or construction equipment needs DEF, WPI has the best price in town. Only $12.99 for 2.5 gallons. Regardless of your machine's make or model, WPI can help. From custom hydraulic hoses, O-rings to teeth, buckets and blades, any part, filter, fluid, battery, or lighting is at your local WPI. Visit Jesse James at WPI's new location in Bryan, Highway 21 east at Marina Road, or click WPI.com.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram, the New Orleans Saints.
So am I wrong for picking y'all to go to the Super Bowl?
No, you're actually correct, because we got them dogs all over the field.
Talking about Jalen Brunson, again, newly minted point guard, signed with the Knicks.
I wouldn't necessarily call myself a savior. I'm definitely excited to contribute.
Clark Lee, the head coach of the Vanderbilt Commodores. I think when we put the full force of Vanderbilt University behind this football program, and we have a niche in this conference as a top 15 school, I mean, the value proposition here is through the roof.
Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, Greg Sankey.
I appreciate going to church without having to check my phone every 5 minutes when my wife hits me on the knee. And I try to explain to her, like, people sometimes need to talk to me even during the worship service.
Listen in to ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio, 1150 and 93.7 FM.
All right, it's TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. The final countdown, guys, and let's talk about there are more issues than just quarterback play, and one of those you alluded to is getting kicked in the mouth often. One of the things I saw from App State was they wanted that extra yard every play, and I didn't see that from us.
No, you did not see it.
It was mind-boggling, all that stuff, watching it. You're just like, I had no idea. I was dumbfounded, really. I mean, because you're like, how is this even possible? And they were doing it. They were whipping us, man.
Well, first of all, let's give props to App State.
No, I do.
This is not
their coaching,
some crappy team. This was a good football team.
Yeah,
we were more talented, great. But they were a good football team. They were extremely well prepared, well coached, and they played with twice the effort we played with.
Twice the heart. I mean, for real, yeah.
And that's why the game looked the way it did. We went out there, we didn't execute. We were getting pushed around up front. They were picking up third downs whenever they wanted. I mean, I saw defensive linemen literally getting pancaked, which is not something I'm used to ever seeing, especially against an App State team. We had some problems, and it was not to do with talent. It was to do with effort and the mentality to go out there and want it more than the other team. We just didn't have it Saturday. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist,
right?
But we did not have it Saturday.
Dude, I said it to you multiple times that coach was dialed in, man. He had them so right.
They were on their heels. Prepared. They were on their heels.
I was like,
day.
man, he is coaching a great game over there.
I thought
I don't know what we can do.
They were running that jet motion. They were running plays off of it. I told you in the first quarter, I'm like, they're going to figure this out by the third quarter, and they didn't. And they didn't figure it out the whole game.
He had a great sub scheme too. When we would sub, I was very impressed with the way he handled that.
I was too, and I felt good about it too for the same reason you did. For as poorly as they played in the first half, and it was 7-7, they missed a shot to score late in the first half that really bothered me, and I could tell it bothered Jimbo. I happened to see him getting in the O-line, but there was a missed block by, I think it was Crownover missed, and then A-Chain got run through running back pass protection. Crap.
Yes.
And that was a sack.
That. Yes, that was ugly.
That would have been a touchdown. It was a walk-in touchdown for Evan Stewart. I don't care. Someone said, "Well, what if Haynes wouldn't have you could make the throw today?" It was a walk-in touchdown.
Pretty rusty.
It was so, and it would have been like as bad as you played. You're up 14-7. I think it could have changed everything. Obviously, that pass getting knocked out of his hand and them overruling it, but. I was impressed with what they did. And I think they didn't adjust, Steve. I think what we saw yesterday. Or Saturday, it was a lot of youth in the A&M front seven. And you need to get McKinley back. Listen to what you were without. You were without 4 starters up front from last year. You lost your entire starting D-line. You're playing an O-line that finished second for the Joe Moore Award last year.
Did they really?
And had
That's
4.
Impressive, man.
I think 4 of their 5 guys were back, and all were 5th, 6th year guys.
I'll tell you what, they earned it.
And so you had that, was a tough one anyway, and then you're without your best run stuffer in McKinley. You're without your most talented inside guy in Walter Nolan. And then, at linebacker, you're playing without Andre White. And I didn't like what Durkin did. And I got the little correctors, they'll say, well, it is 4 down linemen. It's that other lineman, it's either Diggs or it's Eni White, and they're playing off the ball. It's 3 down. And every time they did that, App State said, fine, we'll take. If they could get from me to you, they were thrilled about it.
Yeah.
And they did it. And they did it repeatedly. And I didn't see much of an adjustment. But look, defensively, it was the least of the problems. They need to be better. But you're getting McKinley Jackson back, Jalen Jones practiced, Miles Jones practiced. I would expect Jalen. Miles, I might be surprised because I think he came back late. But those two, Andre White, not yet.
Walter get to play hometown?
Walter probably not yet. That's not hometown.
Oh, it's not?
You think of Shamar Stewart. He'll be out there, obviously.
Home State. Look at me trying to act like I know it.
You took some liberties there.
You want to check your sources on that one.
But no, you got to get some of these guys back. Even Gabe Brownlow Dindy, we talked about. He practiced and has been turning heads since last week. You're a big fan of his.
He's a big dude, man.
He's going to be in there. So if you get McKinley and him in there, I think it certainly helps. And then Bryce Anderson coming back. He's your typical, I think he's the guy that would have been in dime when you saw, he'd be in dime when you saw Jared Kerr. You saw a lot of Deuce Harmon out there. You might see more of Jalen Jones instead. You saw a lot of, like say you go down to like Regis and Burris, you might see more of McKinley and Dindy. All these things over the course of a game and spread out amongst your whole defense, you start to see it. And look, them young dudes were taking the bait Saturday. Yeah. And that had to have a lot to do with how much the misdirection was getting them. And
no question.
That's youth and inexperience.
I can't remember who led tackles last week, Damani, somebody
Chris
like
Russell
that.
or
it was
Antonio.
a defensive back is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And anytime you got a DB leading in tackles, that's a loss.
Well, you know, my problem with playing these young guys too, whether it's freshmen or even redshirt freshmen, is a lot of times these guys have not adjusted to how important every single play is in the game mentally.
Yeah.
Because when you're a stud in high school, those guys are not playing every snap. They're not going 100% every snap. They're not. I was there. I didn't do it. You know, you keep some back. And they don't realize that at this level of competition that if you don't give 100% every single snap, that could be the one play that costs you the game.
Yeah.
And until they adjust that mindset and realize you better give 100% because you got guys behind you that can come in and give you a breather. You don't need to play every snap. You don't need to take a few plays off to recover and go, 85%. So that mindset has to change. And it can't always change as a true freshman or even a redshirt freshman until you've gotten the snaps and you've been experienced and you know how important every play is. Sometimes it's hard to coach that into guys.
Sidebar, you know who is really bad about that in the NFL?
Pretty much
Aggie.
Every defensive
Sam
tackle.
Adams. I hated playing against Sam Adams because one play he would destroy or give like 100% effort right off the ball and snap and come and just like light you up. And the next play is like he doesn't do a thing. It was amazing, but that was late in his career.
Every defensive tackle.
Yeah, I was about to say he knew how to pace himself for 12 rounds.
Oh, he did. It was so funny blocking.
That was Pat Williams.
Yeah, I was going to say
Albert Hainsworth, John Henderson, all those guys, same way. 4 or 5 plays a game, they would just try to rip your head off. The other plays, it's like, this is like practice.
Yeah.
Did you know?
No, you didn't know. That's what makes him dangerous.
But I'm saying, did you know, like, I can tell he's not ever. I'm going to chill out, not piss this dude off.
I dare you to do that. Yeah. That's how they get you every time. Oh man,
you
can't be that way.
You can't afford.
You
to
had
do
to
that.
go. Yeah,
you had to go 100% every play. He could take plays off. You could not.
How wild is that? I think of you as this Aggie fan. How old?
Yeah,
were you
I remember watching him with Kyle
How old were you
Field.
in 1992?
Exactly. 13, 14, watching him. I remember watching him play.
And then you're playing against him in the NFL. And this is
you know what? I'm sorry to digress, but it was the preseason. He didn't want to be out there, and I didn't want to be out there either blocking against him. But our coach was just grinding on us to cut that. Like, we had to cut. I was sitting there cutting Sam. I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. I just apologized to him. He's like in his 16th year, and I'm out there cutting him.
Oh, I cut some big dudes.
Sorry, man.
In their older age that I felt bad about also.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you don't want to cut these guys. But
y'all are some cutting sons of guns, aren't you?
That was the way of the world back then.
It is what it is.
Now you'd be on Twitter. Look at this dirty football player.
For real.
Kick him out of the league. He cut a guy.
When we come back, Freak of the Week.
Dr. Nuño.
And Dr. Nuño. And Sleeper of the Week.
We should have a visit.
Prescription.
Hey,
what is your prescription for this weekend?
Dr. Nuño's prescription.
A lot of people online saying, Nuño knows what's up. So I'm just saying.
A lot of people
With
online.
what's it called?
His Gold's Gym supporters.
The Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back.
A lot of people online can just skip the doctor and just stop doing whatever they're doing that will hurt them. That's what I do. My hamstring hurts one day. I'm like, okay, what did I do? Okay, I'm not doing that anymore.
I'm not gonna do it today. Shoulder hurts. Shorten my range.
Yeah,
right.
He does that. That's where he's making fun of me because I'm doing the short bench now.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't hurt my shoulder.
There you go. Boom.
This guy hurt my shoulder.
It's all about range of motion.
It's about longevity.
These
man.
guys
You're
are
playing
already
the long
where
game.
I want to be, so they can do it. I'm trying to get there.
I almost in my head wished a shoulder injury on you, but I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
It seems like you did. If you
I
almost did,
thought about thinking about it.
Well, I'm gonna get injured.
I didn't do it.
I'm old. It happens.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't.
Well, thank you, and I hope we win this weekend. We'll be
deadlifts
back.
pay off.
It's the one show in the world that talks Aggie football, Star Wars, and progressive overload at the gym. It's TexAgs Radio with David, Olin, and Billy here on the Zone.
Howdy, this is Steve Bledsoe, fighting Texas Aggie class of '83, with some exciting news. Verabank is now open with our new full-service location on Highway 6 in College Station. With personal bankers, business bankers, Verabank has everything you need in one convenient location. Come see for yourself, where genuine banking is waiting for you, and you can bank on it.
Visit verabank.com today. That's VERA bank.com. Verabank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If you bleed blue, green, maroon, or purple, M&M Apparel can help you show your school pride with spirit wear for Bryan, Rudder, Consolidated, and College Station high schools. Stop into M&M Apparel's huge showroom filled with a wide variety of t-shirts, hoodies, caps, visors, polo shirts, jackets, spirit flags, bougie beats, headbands, stadium chairs, tumblers, blankets, duffel bags, and backpacks. They can also personalize your purchase with a player's name and number. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. M&M Apparel on Welsh Avenue, just north of A&M Consolidated High School.
Time to talk Factory Builder Stores, celebrating that new location in College Station, located at 11907 Welborn Road, right next to the Ashley Furniture Outlet. They can service builders and the general public with locations throughout Texas, including right here in College Station. And at Factory Builder Stores, you're dealing with local people who do things the right way. So whether you're building a home or upgrading your appliances or outdoor living at your existing home, let Factory Builder Stores take care of you. Factory Builder Stores, College Station Showroom, open now Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Old Welborn Road, factorybuilderstores.com.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers cash and prepay parking options.
Park in downtown Bryan and ride the free shuttle to campus.
For those parking with annual permits, be ready to show us your 2022 permit barcode.
For game day traffic and parking info, visit Destination Aggieland within the TAMU app or visit transport.tamu.edu.
Remember Destination Aggieland to help plan your day.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for podcasts of TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard? Look inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Don't miss a single guest or moment. You can download or subscribe to any and all of your favorite shows inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. There's also a special selection where you can find select interviews from David, Louie, and Chip. Look up Zone interviews inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Download or subscribe, but don't miss out. Check out the Pod Center at zone1150.com.
And we're back. It is TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I want to say something that I turned to you before the show started. I said, you're optimistic, right? And you said, do you remember what you said to me?
You have to be. There's
got to be.
Got to be.
Yeah.
Can't be pessimistic. We have too many opportunities in front of us. No, lose these next couple.
Do you want to live your life? You could be as negative. I'll say that you could be as negative as you want it to be right now.
Yeah, man,
if you want to live your life
as an
way.
Aggie fan, look, guys, there's enough negativity out there pointed towards our team. We as fans need to be supportive, lifting them up. This is not a time to be trying to attack our team. They're working hard this week.
And what do you want? Do you want
changes.
the worst for them?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I
want them to win every
some
single
people
game, of course.
across the street in positions outside of football that need to hear that message, that don't have a damn clue what they're talking about or doing, that are constantly, every time, no matter the coach, no matter the AD, no matter what, there's been some constants, and they immediately plunge to the depths of negativity. They get as frustrated as the fan in all of us do, like at Kyle Field on Saturday, and they don't understand their position, and they immediately run off, and they want to see in writing, they want to hear on radio the coach, no matter who it is, R.C. Slocum, Coach Fran, Mike Sherman, Kevin Sumlin, Jimbo Fisher, and they want to see that coach like under fire. And I'm not going to say it because we've got some young guests in here, and I've already said one word today. But those people are donkeys. They're complete and total idiots that are a part of the problem and have always been a part of the problem and will continue to be a part of the problem. And other people in positions need to check them and need to say, this crap stops. And because it does create a narrative, it creates a perception. A&M went in this for the long haul with Jimbo Fisher.
Right. That's what I mean by that.
People can say for better or worse.
You're in it.
And people can say for better or worse, and it seems like worse when you lose to App State, and you have players saying, yeah, there were some guys that weren't bought in, and it just feeds into that narrative.
Yeah.
You guys have been in programs. There's a level of, you don't want to know how the sausage is made. How many times have y'all been at practice where someone storms off out of practice?
It happens.
How many fights? How many fights?
Guess what? Everybody, that's the beauty of this whole thing about being on a team. You know what I'm saying?
How many times do freshman guys that y'all have had to say, hey, that ain't the way to do it.
Right.
Now you're learning. You don't do it that way. I mean, this is all normal stuff that comes out after losses, but you got people just kind of waiting to prey on it. And when it's people at A&M in positions, like, get your act together, man. And other people man up and say, where is this coming from, and check it. Because you went in it for the long term. For you, whether you want to say it's for better or worse, it's what you did. And if you'd have lost Jimbo to LSU 6 months ago, everyone in the national media that's currently ridiculing Jimbo and the failure at A&M as they're perceiving it, every one of those people would say, what a score for Scott Woodward and LSU. It's over for A&M. They let Jimbo Fisher get away. He just signed the #1 class. That would have been the narrative. They're always going to move it. You know, they don't like Jimbo. The national college football media does not like him. They're going to shift it and move it to where it was a negative for A&M no matter what, unless the Aggies are winning. We don't need anyone in College Station, Texas, to help push that narrative.
No, you're spot
get your
on
ass
there.
out.
Right, and you know what? So I had this conversation the other day about, and I hate to even talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. These videos that were going around, I was like, man, I love that stuff. Are you kidding? I was like, that's A&M, man. I mean, like, I grew up hearing these fables, seeing these stories, but guess what? That's who we are. Like, I'm not going to hide from that or back away from that, or the one where at the Texas Tech game when they're all squeezing, you know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. But that's what being an Aggie is about. If you went to school at A&M, you've seen all this stuff, whether you like it or hate it or whatever. That's A&M. That's the culture that's built in. It's not just that act. It's just that's the act of us loving this school.
Yeah. I mean, to shy away from that is to just deny who we are.
Right.
You know, we have weird traditions.
We do. It's extremely weird, but who cares?
Every school has weird traditions. You either embrace them and own them, or you allow people to make fun of them, and then you take that criticism to heart.
Or you become like everybody else. Just like, hey, you know what? We're run-of-the-mill you.
Anyone, and there's a guy from the Lebitard show, and they were making fun of him.
Oh, don't get me started on that guy. I've had enough of him when I was down there.
But Lebitard, I'm talking about whoever
worst.
his guy is, that little thing they did at Yale practice. If you can't watch that and laugh, it's like, okay, man, like, that's part of
way
our
to
problem.
Take yourself too serious.
That's part of our problem sometimes is everything has to be a fight, and I'm guilty of that sometimes too. But as a fan base, everything has to be a fight. We have to get so defensive. I think A&M, I think the Yo leaders should lean into it tomorrow night, make a joke about that,
right?
And go,
don't be afraid to make fun of yourself.
Welcome for all our friends at Barstool Sports or something. You know. We know you guys are watching, so we're going to be careful and not make, we're not going to offend any hurricanes. We're not going to talk about, the lack of hurricanes in the Gulf, whatever.
Yeah.
And I did say, I do think they need to be very thoughtful about what they say, because everyone's watching now. Don't say anything to get yourselves canceled or to put A&M in a horrible light, but continue to have fun and continue to do something that everyone at A&M understands what it is.
Right.
And I will challenge anyone from those guys. I hope they're one of them's in town this weekend. Someone's trying to connect me with him. Go to yell practice. It is freaking weird. If you're not an Aggie, it's the weirdest damn thing, but it is spectacularly weird.
It is.
And
you go.
And everyone that's ever been
Loves
from any school, from any media, any walk of life that I've brought in there, student at another school to celebrity that knows nothing about college football to pro athletes, everyone that goes in there goes, that was freaking cool. And they'd never seen
Weird,
anything
but
like
cool.
it. And like you said, if you made it normal, then it wouldn't be a thing.
Right. And who would want to go?
Don't give in to that.
Don't
fight
give
back.
into
But don't fight too much. Like, lean into it and say, yeah, it's right. I like people when they say A&M's they say A&M's a cult.
Right.
Okay.
So
call it what you want. Yeah,
Yes, whatever.
It is different. It's weird, but it is funny because I have people asking like, did you have to do a lot of push-ups in school? I go, I do wish that part would go away where people can understand like there's the core and the history of it. Yeah. And I love
you
love the
it.
core
Sure.
being a part of it, and I love so many of my friends and especially the older guys when the whole school was that. And the yell leaders, freaking love those dudes. They're great representatives
They are.
day to day of A&M, and so many of them moving on. But no, I'm on to say like 90% of A&M students aren't in the core, and 99% aren't.
More like
yell leaders.
98%.
It's not. Now, if there's one thing I wish they could figure out, I don't want to walk into that stadium and smell horse crap every Saturday.
Tired
of that.
Let me tell you
and
one
our
more
players
thing.
are on the sidelines smelling horse crap, and they have to have that track out there instead of some other surface. And we got guys running off, getting pushed out of bounds and then slipping on that thing. They got to figure that out. That is my one gripe about anything.
I got one
correlated.
gripe. I got one gripe. Is that I love this song, but I don't want to ever hear it played at Cal Field one more time. Lukenbach, Texas. I love that song, but don't you ever play that at Cal Field ever again.
And A&M had just had a fourth down
I was
stop
devastated.
or
I was like, are you kidding me?
Maybe it's time we
It
run
ruined
back.
Seth's whole day.
I thought, but it's funny because you texted
Why are
me.
they playing that?
I thought the same
Yeah,
thing.
that was pretty bad.
What a lame in-game song.
Oh, I was devastated. It hurt.
We got some sponsor stuff we got to get in this segment. Let's do the
Get
Sleeper of the
in.
Week, presented
Sleeper
by
of
Sleep
the
Station.
Week.
Go see Jared McLeod and ask about the Tempur-Pedic mattress in the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey and in front of
Successful
Lowe's.
life we're living.
So we're going to start off with Seth.
Sleeper?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be a sleeper or whatever you want to call him the first time we'll see him this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what Max can do. I said it from the get-go that I wouldn't be surprised. I got to talk about somebody. I wouldn't be surprised that he wasn't the starter day one because you saw what he got, what he did against us at LSU, and you've seen the kind of guy that he is. But he's older. He's mature. I feel that his background is going to let him fully take in what being a quarterback under Jimbo is, and that he's going to do a great job for us. And I cannot wait for Saturday knowing that he's going to be playing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm excited to see Max play. Have been since he got here. So, and if I'm not excited with what I see, then I'll be excited to see Connor play after that. So.
I think they better be, if they're a good coaching staff. You look at Connor Wigman, and you're now an option 2 at quarterback.
Right.
You better be thinking the unthinkable. And if the record looks like we don't even want to acknowledge it to look after
Let's not even
Alabama
speak it
game,
into existence.
and you have a bye week coming up,
Yes.
and then South Carolina, to me, in the back of your mind, there should be a quiet, concerted push to ramp up this kid and get him on an accelerated learning curve.
I don't
with
think
that
it should be
date
quiet
in mind.
I think it should be just like, look, get your mind right.
Well, you can tell QB to get his mind right, but the actions from the coaching staff have to facilitate that, and I think that needs to be the kind of foresight you always have. Now, I hope
we don't have to see it, but if we do, then I'm excited.
Yeah, you have to prepare for
about
all
that?
contingencies.
I'm going to go with my sleeper, and I'm actually going to go with the position group. It's a group that we haven't seen anything from this year hardly at all. Tight end.
Okay.
I know that we have really, some great wideouts, and I like some of the 4 wide stuff we're doing. But Jimbo's offense to be able to run the football and to get play actions down the middle has to have an effective tight end play. Now, I know Max Wright's coming back. Maybe that helps with the blocking.
I was about to say, it's blocking.
Get one of these freshmen going. If Max Johnson's playing quarterback, I'll promise you he could probably find his brother with his eyes closed. If you don't see him in the game, at least going out for a few routes, making a few catches, I would be shocked.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going to see a little more tight end action.
I wanted to say Gabe Brownlow-Dindy. A lot of times an interior guy.
Just say you pick two anyways. Just pick him.
So pick him. And on offense, though, I'm going to go. This is going to confuse you a little bit. I'm going to pick Anias Smith. Not as a sleeper. I expect him to perform every week. Obviously, he's one of A&M's best players. I want to see, and I don't know we're going to see it, but he sat here with me and he kind of made a little cryptic comment. I want to see him in the running game. I do. I want something to give a change up to A-Chain, just a different look, a different speed at which someone's hitting a hole, a different style, because Devon thrived so much on that last year. And people forget that Anias Smith, in the first couple games in 2020, was getting more carries than Isaiah Spiller. And that was going to be a true 1-2. And Anias' stock in the building and Bright as a running back was going like this. It was through the roof. Jimbo was devastated when Caleb Chapman got hurt. You had to move Chase Lane out of the slot, outside, and just take Anias out of the backfield. You've seen that dude block. And their blocking has stunk at running back. It's been pitiful. You've seen Anias. He'll block you. He'll block in the running game almost to a detriment. And he'll stand in the passing game.
He's going to get himself hurt blocking so hard.
And as a runner, I think he can really change some things up.
I love him as a player,
problems.
man.
Yeah, let's hit a break here. We'll finish up with Freak of the Week, and then maybe we'll try to get to the Pick Six during the after party.
We'll do it after, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I know we've all got places to be,
yeah,
but we'll
do.
still do it.
I'm going to go to the doctor. TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner.
You are the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. You're invited to Get Growing with Master Gardeners Wildlife Photography, Sunday, September 18th at 3 p.m. at Lick Creek Park. Register at the College Station Parks and Rec website. The Bush School is hosting a panel titled Monkeypox, Have We Learned Anything from COVID-19? Monday, September 19th at 5:30 p.m. Register online at bush.tamu.edu/events. Brazos Valley Beekeepers are hosting their annual Bee School on Saturday, September 24th at First Baptist Church in Bryan. The full-day school has over 50 classes with many hot bee topics. Visit bvbeaks.org for more information. You can hear Bryan Vikings football all season long on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM or online at radioaggieland.com or tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. For more information, visit brazosfootball.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Question. Would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's not every day you can save money. Oh, wait, you can. Hi, Jenny here from Big Deals. When you shop Big Deals, you'll save money every day on dozens of gift certificates from local businesses like these.
J. Cody Steaks and Barbecue, Horseshoe Junction Family Fun Park, M&M Apparel, and Premium Rapid Lube. Visit AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com.
I, Louis Bellina, am inviting you to be a part of the Bellucci Hour,
brought to you by Dos Equis, each and every Thursday, 1 p.m., a part of the Louis Bellina Show. The Bellucci Hour, brought to you by Dos Equis. Enjoy college football this season with your friends and a cool, refreshing Dos Equis lager. Get a dose. It's the Bellucci Hour, a part of the Louis Bellina Show, brought to you by B&B Automotive and Superior Auto Service.
Milk Fairlife.
Korea Pure. I'm writing it down. I got it on my notes right there. I'm going to look into this. TexAgs Radio.
It's real stuff.
Presented by David Gardner's Jewelers in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is now time for the Freak of the Week.
It's the Freak of the Week.
You guys weren't ready
What
for
am
this.
I know. Am I going? I'm ready. I'm teed up. I got my guy ready. No one talked about him. But I'm glad to have this guy back, Bryce Foster, and we need him back. And I hope that he rolls out there and that he's well and he's over the illness that he had and he's going to ball out, because I think that offensive line has been weak, and I think having him back and hopefully having him the way he was last year is going to improve things drastically on that offensive front. So we'll see.
Oh, man.
Oh, what? What?
No, I'm with you, brother. I hope he is back and plays and starts and looks like he used to. My Freak of the Week, I think Billy's going to like this one.
Okay.
He probably was going to pick this guy. This is a guy that's been just so close to just breaking out and having just a huge game. Just barely missed it both games because they couldn't get the ball to him.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
Evan Stewart, man.
I'm ready.
This is going to be the week. We're going to finally see him hit one over the top, that 100-yard-plus game with a touchdown or two. I just got a good feeling it's coming.
And I know Evan had the fumble, and that's why I didn't like him this week retweeting Jonte Cook's tweet like that. I thought that was a Bush League move.
Immature.
But Evan,
it's an age.
But as a player, that dude's brought it with the exception of one play.
Look,
I know he hadn't been perfect out there. I did hear that one of those bad throws by Haynes was a route that was run wrong. It was supposed to be more shallow, and whatever. The dude's been getting open. He's taking advantage of opportunities, but he really should have about 4 long touchdowns and a lot of yards through 2 games. You think of the 2 deep passes against Sam, and he already had 51 yards in that one. You think about the couple of crossing routes where they didn't connect. There's a play that I think maybe it's our buddy Sturm showed where the whole field's cleared out, and there's the check down to Evan where he might have housed it, but he probably 30, 40 yards at a minimum.
Yeah, was that the retweet you're talking about?
Probably.
That really hurt my feelings.
There have been a lot of opportunities where Stewart has been. I mentioned the play earlier where it's probably a touchdown if there's not the sack, and I agree with you. Like Max Johnson had a game at LSU against Ole Miss where he threw, I think it was about 300 receiving yards to Keyshawn Butte to one guy. Just airing it out down the field. If Evan Stewart or Anias or whoever gets a hot hand, Max has proven that he'll find that guy and keep getting him the ball. And I am excited to see Max Johnson and the deep ball. That is something that unfortunately we saw firsthand against A&M. I think it's a throw that he makes very well, and I think he has the personnel in Stewart, Anias, Marshall, and Yule Keith to go bombs away if given the chance.
I'll tell you what, though. Miami's got a guy that I am interested in watching, though, is this 6'5" safety they've got.
Yeah,
that's
5-star,
fun to watch.
6'5" safety.
Yeah, dude.
And he's built almost like an edge rusher playing safety.
So the after party will only be on TexAgs.com. So those who want to stay for Pick 6 and whatever random clothes we talk about, that'll be coming up here next.
For doctor advice.
Doctor advice. Hey,
my freak of the week, I want to see a bounce back in a big game from 1 or 2 guys on the edge. I need a big game from Fadil Diggs or Edgerrin Cooper tomorrow night.
Like it.
So shall we do the Pick 6?
Let's go.
Let's
do it.
All right.
Me and Seth at top of the leaderboard right
That's
now.
right.
Me and the Walrus.
All right, here
what
we
are
go.
y'all, 8 and 4?
Something like that, yeah.
We've got the easiest one of the group, guys.
Hold on. Let me dial up your text here real quick. All right, let's get it.
Number 1, Georgia, 2-0 at South Carolina, 1-1, 11 a.m. William Bryce Stadium, ESPN broadcast. Georgia favored by 24. Steve, you start it.
Oh, wow.
At South Carolina.
That's a big number for being on the road.
A couple D tackles, I believe, out for South Carolina.
That doesn't.
You're not making
I'm gonna
this-
go. I'm gonna go Georgia.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia.
I'm just gonna go. Assume they blow
They're just
out,
so good.
and they'll probably end up getting beat. They'll probably
They ain't
go lose
getting
Georgia.
beat.
Something.
No, they're not getting beat.
Hey, we lost App State, man. Anything can happen.
Oh, Georgia,
That's true. If you're going to say that, then you're right.
Georgia lost to South Carolina. I think it was 2019, maybe. But they lost.
Hey,
at
look,
South,
I'm rooting for it.
They lost at home. Remember, Fromm threw 3 picks, including a pick 6, and they lost. That wasn't that long
My
ago.
picks don't come from my heart's desire.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna go. No, screw that. I'm going Georgia cover. Georgia cover.
Number 22, Penn State, 2-0 at Auburn, 2-0 as well. Jordan Hare, CBS broadcast.
I'm changing it. South Carolina.
Oh, there we go.
Bryce
Noted.
Stadium.
Noted.
They're gonna go nuts. They're gonna.
Oh man,
They're going to
will
love the
their
new
team
lights.
to hang in
the
there.
new lights.
They're gonna only lose
They're
by
not going to
21.
win. They're just going to cover.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I heard that correctly.
No, I'm going Georgia.
Oh, my word. You know what?
Yeah,
That's
we're going
enough.
the triple flip.
Let's imagine like a 49-14 type game.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I thought about how is South Carolina going to score points?
They're not going to. It's probably going to be a shutout.
Penn State at Auburn, guys, both 2-0. Penn State favored by 3.
Auburn.
Yeah, I'm doing Auburn.
I almost did because I'm like, oh, SEC, and then I remember what A&M looked like. I remember what LSU looked like. I remembered what Auburn looked like in their bowl game against U of H, and I know things are but Auburn's offense, it's
TJ
Tank
Finley.
Bigsby and nothing else. Penn State. I'm going Penn State to cover.
I am too.
And they're not even good.
No, they're not.
That's why I picked Auburn.
Taking the home team.
Here's an interesting one. Number 12, BYU, 2-0 at number 25, Oregon, 1-1, 2:30 start on Fox. Oregon favored by 3.5.
I gotta.
They look so bad against Georgia.
Man. I'm going to go with BYU.
Yeah.
Tough back-to-back for BYU. I watched that game the other night with the sound off because I was so annoyed. I was like looking on my
Can't hear
phone
anything.
and reading everybody trashing us on Twitter, and I had the volume off, talking on the phone. But I watched a lot of that game. BYU looks good. They're getting. I don't know if they're getting those receivers back that were out against Baylor. I like BYU getting 3.5. I like them to win that one outright.
I'm going BYU also.
All right. Mississippi State 2-0 at LSU 1-1, 5 o'clock, Tiger Stadium, ESPN broadcast. Mississippi State favored by 2.5.
I'm going LSU.
I'm taking Mississippi State.
Me too.
Because
We're dressed for it.
Yeah.
What color is this?
It's like a brown maroon.
No. Billy's got on that Mississippi State maroon.
Well,
it's a little bit darker.
That's not brown.
Yeah, it's that
maroon.
Mississippi State maroon.
Brown.
Where's your bell? Where's your cowbell?
I don't have one, but I'm picking Mississippi State,
dude,
to throttle LSU.
Don't sleep on Mississippi State, man. They're good.
Beat down in Baton Rouge. It's
They're
really
good.
going to have people questioning Brian Kelly early.
All right,
if we go in and beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State, we're a good football team.
Okay.
I'm just telling you,
All right.
they're good.
Well, I'll be watching that one.
You better.
Will you, though?
I don't know. I avoid it if we lose. I watch everything when we win. Here we go.
Yeah, man,
It's
right.
before. So number 11, Michigan State at 2-0, excuse me, at Washington 2-0. That game is an ABC broadcast. Washington favored by 3.5.
It's just such
Weird
I know
line.
nothing of these people.
I don't know anything.
I don't know. I'm going to pick the favorite that's
You
an
don't
underdog.
know where.
Is it at Washington?
Yep.
Yeah, but 3.5, and if that's the case, Michigan State has claimed A&M and Notre Dame's spot as the most overrated team in the country.
I know,
if
right?
they're a more than a field goal underdog at Washington,
I know.
Not
which
ranked.
means that's essentially a toss-up game on a neutral field, then
Vegas knows
Michigan
something.
State's the most overrated team in the country right now at number 11.
Yeah, I guess give me Washington.
Washington?
Let's go for the home. I mean, I guess they're favored to win. I was going to say home dog. But
Home team.
They're favored to win.
You got
I already
Washington.
picked. No, I picked Michigan State.
I have Michigan State.
All right, what do you got for A&M and
I'm
Miami,
going to pick.
Seth?
Don't mind me.
Are you gonna pick?
I'm going to go Michigan State to cover.
All right. Number 13, Miami 2-0 at
No,
number
no.
24, Texas A&M, 8 o'clock.
I'm
Kyle
going.
Field.
I mean, I'm going UW.
You keep changing.
You know what? We got to make a rule for Billy, the Billy rule, that he cannot just do this.
Only
all the
one
time.
change, and it has to be within an hour of the
Okay, that's fair.
Not
One
like-
change per 6.
Not like you can't
But it
text
has
like
to be on
late
the broadcast.
tonight.
Yeah, one change per 6.
On the
It's
broadcast.
getting out of hand.
Yeah,
You're
let's just keep it on
wishy-washy.
the
in
broadcast.
this,
Okay, so then I guess I have to go with Michigan State.
I'm confused.
I have to.
Whoever's tallying this, Ethan.
I have gone Georgia and Michigan State.
All right.
Georgia and Michigan State. Okay.
A&M is favored by 5.5. Gentlemen, what say you?
You know what?
We know who you're picking, Seth.
Yeah, okay, fine. You know, what are
We know
you
who
not
you're
going to pick them?
Old Sarge over here.
Whole Army set. All right.
Oh, Homer.
What am I going to do? Okay, they got a new quarterback.
Pick
We got
'em.
a new center.
Pick it.
Going in. I'm
Just-
picking A&M, baby.
say it.
We're going to cover. I'm not predicting any kind of score, but, hey, give us a touchdown. I'm fine with that. I think we can
Alex
do that.
Van Dyke.
Tyler.
Who's Alex Van
He was
Dyke?
a quarterback, I think, for the Bills back
Yeah,
in the day.
He was my offensive
Was he?
coordinator.
Really? Yeah, he's an old
No,
school.
he was the quarterback coach. Wait, what?
Didn't he play at
I've
Pittsburgh?
remember what
probably
he was
written
at the
Alex
Bills.
Van Dyke more than once. So Tyler
He's
Van
a cool
Dyke,
guy, man. I like him.
With him, Miami has been in this kind of different shift under Chris. Say his name.
Cristobal? Cristobal?
Mario Cristobal. They've been in kind of this weird in between, like that dude wants to throw it and sling it around and be in New York for the Heisman. Mario wants to run the ball and reestablish power football at Miami. I think that's what they're going to come in here and try to do, especially without Restrepo. I think Miami's going to have some success running the football because what I saw last week, I don't think there's an overnight fix for A&M. I'm going to pick Miami to cover because this is a A&M team that's coming off. They've looked bad, and they're changing quarterbacks, and I'm getting 5.5 points. We are sitting here as betting men trying to say this without our betting woman in Carolina and a betting youngster in Rocco. We are trying to win these picks. I think Texas A&M wins the game, and I think A&M wins the game 27 or 28-23. And I think it's right on that line. I think that's Vegas is good for a reason. I think A&M wins a close one in that 27-23 range.
And I'll ask this to everybody.
I was a bit confused.
Yeah, I tried to set it up to make you think I was going to pick Miami to win, but I didn't.
But you picked them to cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say this. If A&M scores 28 points, they win this game. Right?
I
Do we
agree.
agree with that?
I think so. I
Yeah,
hope so.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope.
I would hope. But I can't. I don't know. I
Look,
really
the
don't.
defense has given up 17 through 2 games, and they weren't.
But App
they
State
weren't
wasn't
that
trying,
impressive.
App State wasn't
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
run the clock, run the ball. They weren't trying to run the score up.
I think if they
were
would have
trying
done that,
to
though,
control the
if
clock,
they would have done that, though, A&M would have collected more sacks, a couple
Yeah, you're
turnovers,
correct.
maybe.
But they didn't have to do that,
They had a good
unfortunately.
game plan.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't get me started.
Billy, me and you are thinking alike. It's hard for me to see A&M pulling away too much in this game. This feels like one of
5.5.
those.
Y'all act like that's a huge win.
This feels like one of those kicking a field goal in the last couple minutes, stopping them from
Yeah.
scoring a touchdown in the last 2 minutes. That's the kind of game I'm feeling it's going to
Same.
be. And so for that reason, I'm thinking it's A&M's going to win it because we have to win it.
I'm betting on it being a
3 or
huge
4
anomaly.
point win type situation.
I'm betting on it being that we'll look back on this at the end of the year. Of course, I got my glasses on and all that jazz, and say that this App State was a huge anomaly. And we are going to go out and have a decent, good rest of the year like we thought we were. But that was just a bad, horrible, awful game.
Yeah.
And we got the guys to go out and do what we need to do. And I think they're going to
I just need to
beat
see
Miami.
them man
Cover.
up and bounce back, and I need to see the coaching staff say we're better than we showed last week, and I need to see the players say
respond.
That ain't going to happen at our house on back-to-back weeks. I don't think Miami's that good. I don't think A&M's that good yet. I think A&M's trajectory could be this if they win tomorrow.
Let me ask
I
you
think
this,
they will.
Billy.
I think they will.
Let me ask you this. Like, you know the pulse of what's going on. I think you can react one of two ways. We have an extremely young team, and dare I say one that lacks leadership, but I digress.
There's that word again.
The
You use
ego,
it a lot, you know?
the ego.
Evidently
their ego
is
can
their
take
favorite word.
their ego can take one of two ways about it. Their ego can look at themselves in the mirror and go, I'm not going to let anything like that happen ever
Yeah.
again. Or their ego can say, you know what? I hate this. I'm leaving. I'm going to quit, whatever, this kind of crap, and go that route.
Yeah.
And I hope it's obviously the alternative where they're like, their ego goes, I got pride. I'm never going to look like that again. And then nobody's going to talk bad about my school and all this crap.
You
and
sound
go out
like
and dominate.
me from hour number 1. Yeah. I'm glad. I mean,
well, you know what?
Hopefully,
because I wasn't listening.
The leadership and the junior and seniors. Do we even have seniors? The juniors, the guys that have played for 3 years. Hopefully, those are the guys in the locker room lifting these young guys up, not letting them, stay down there, feel sorry for themselves, pout, think the grass is greener on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, they have the right type of attitude and mentality in that locker room.
Buy in, baby.
To buy in and go out there this week, lay it all out there, give 100%. What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
This
We're playing the U, man.
This is it, baby. Saturday is the season.
That's right.
Saturday is the season.
And the spotlight is still, like I was saying earlier, it is still on College Station, Texas.
Despite the absence of game day.
Sure.
But
Everybody's
the game
gonna be
day,
watching
and
to
then
see
Herb
what we
Street's
do.
hopping on a plane and bring his butt to College Station and Kyle Field. It's the only matchup between ranked teams this weekend. It's Texas A&M versus the U. It's the SEC versus the ACC.
Let's do it.
It is. It's Jimbo Fisher taking on Miami again after playing them however many times in Tallahassee. This is a real deal now. This is a big time game, and I told Nuño in the first hour the only thing that's changed is why it's a big time game.
Yeah, I know.
A little bit. There are a lot of the same reasons. It's a night game at Kyle Field. Let's go, man.
What an incredibly late start. Is this the latest we've ever started a game at Kyle Field?
Why is it starting at 8? Why is that? It's so late. 8 Central?
9 o'clock in Miami.
That's insane.
Let me tell you something. Considering the alternative, I'm not going to really complain.
I'm not
It was a
complaining.
2:30 game this weekend. It's getting that weather, that temperature is getting back up.
Yeah.
What's the
It
high
was a great
tomorrow?
week this week, though. I'll tell you that.
It's like the high to 93, not bad. We could have dealt with that. But I like the idea of the kickoff coming in like the low 80s,
When
high
we going to get some
70s.
LED lights at
Probably-
Kyle Field, Billy?
Kickoff probably
Aren't
in
you
the
in charge of
70s,
that?
right?
When are we going to
Aren't
get
you in
some
charge of
LED
that?
lights?
I'm sure they'll do it because everyone's doing it now.
Well, okay. That's good enough reason. Why do we have a new locker room? Because that's why we do anything, because everyone's doing it. So let's get some LED lights, people.
Yeah, can you get on that, Luch, please?
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
I'll do what I
Thank
can.
you.
Maybe some people up there can stop,
Billy, man of the people.
Yeah, we'll see. You want me to start banging that drum, Seth? I'm already trying
I know.
I'm already
bang
trying
better
to get,
drums.
I'm already
I'm
trying
sorry.
to get Parker to put on a concert.
That's that little
at Kyle
snare
Field.
drum. That's like the rhythm snare.
All
right,
you
just keep that
want,
going.
you want Lukenbach, Texas, out of the stadium playlist. I'm over here
LED
trying
lights.
to get Parker to play at Kyle in a concert.
I'm in favor of this.
You know what I want? Kyle Field. Oh, we're building suites. We can't do it. Put it off another year. I want Parker McCollum and Morgan Wallen at Kyle Field.
Ooh.
I'm open
Or
for that.
get me
I like
Parker and George Strait at Kyle Field.
I'm open for this.
Let's do it big, do it spectacularly. Quit going over here trying to, dial up pressure on a head coach that's not going anywhere, and worry about things like getting us a good concert.
Who's
at Kyle
the
Field.
guy who's like, do your job?
Yeah.
Hey, stagecoach, I want to go to this thing.
We'll look into that. I don't know if I
I'm
can.
on board.
I don't know how you'd fare in the desert.
I don't know
What-
either.
what
but
is
I'm
the
very
Stagecoach?
excited.
It's
What
a
is
music
this?
festival. I don't know Seth at
Like
a music
fire?
festival. I hope not.
God, that would be terrible.
Jeez.
Seth.
Yeah.
Bologna sandwiches. and-
God, could you imagine this
Tents.
guy getting bologna?
I
sandwiches
did a
for
little
us?
research. They have yurts.
What is a yurt?
I have
Is
no
that one of
idea.
Nuño's doctors?
Dr. Yurt?
Dr.
I think you
Yurt.
sleep in a yurt. It's like a glamping.
It's like a recovery bed.
Fantasy. Caroline, would you go to Stagecoach?
I'm on board. Have you looked at this
probably would.
lineup?
Huh?
I probably would.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. For the
The last
experience.
day, you've got
I
Parker
saw it.
and Tyler Childers.
I saw it.
And I mean, it's ridiculous.
I saw it, man. It's good. Friday and Saturday are really good. Nuño, you
Concert
wouldn't like
Seth.
it.
Concert Seth's a pretty fun.
Nuño
Seth.
would go to Bad Bunny.
Yep.
No.
Kanye.
Diplo.
No.
Is Bad Bunny here?
Diplo's on there. Diplo's on
He is
that
on
day.
there. You'd go to
I
Bad
don't even know
Bunny
who that is.
and
Everybody loves
what's
him,
his
though.
name? Give me everything. Pitbull.
Oh, I'm not doing Pitbull.
Excuse me. Well, I might drink a little more.
You don't like Pitbull?
No,
Nuño
Oh,
would be
man.
going nuts for Pitbull.
No, I'm not a Pitbull guy.
Speaking of
Thought all
Pitbull,
Cubans stick
Miami.
together.
Not that guy. He works
maybe
Miami.
Pitbull. You know what? We need to beat Miami and send Pitbull home
Yes.
unhappy. And J-Lo and
Mark
and
Anthony.
A-Rod
Yeah.
and who else?
All those
Miami
people.
people.
All of
Luther
them.
Campbell.
Ed Ogeron. Heck yeah, Luther Campbell. Send them all home crying.
Oh, nice. The Rock.
Levitard, The Rock.
Will Smith.
Send them all home. Will Smith. Who else? Feldman, Bruce.
Miami guy?
Yeah. Our man Zoe. Send Alonzo home crying.
Alonzo.
That's it, man. Handle business. Handle your business Saturday.
I'm on board.
There's a
with
lot going on here. By the way, what are you showing me the clock?
Yeah,
he's ready to roll.
I got something for you, Seth. You're out.
Oh, thanks, Billy. Well, that's awesome of you.
You're out. C-Rod's in.
You're done,
Chili
Clark.
Peppers Sunday night. Speaking of concerts,
Let's go, dude.
let's do this.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the invite.
You were invited. You took too long. You blinked. You
I
missed
did
it.
not blink. I literally said, keep me in the loop.
You don't look like you should be at a Chili Peppers
That's
concert.
true.
First of all,
Hello.
they probably wouldn't even let you in.
Ketis might stop the show and go,
Whoa. Who's this guy?
Who's this?
He? But hey,
The
nice
old guy with the
haircut.
comb over.
Hey, nice. What are you trying to hide there? You bald?
What's this
Nice
guy
try.
dressed up like he's going to yell practice? Get him out of here.
Hey, get all these Greg Abbott people out of here. I'm wearing like a polo.
Killing the vibe, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I know it's not Bad Bunny. They've only had 700 hits over the years versus 2, but
the most streamed artist ever.
Who?
Ever.
What?
Bad Bunny.
Oh,
Who is
whatever.
that?
he's a streaming artist.
That's like me being a Shania Twain fan saying she sold more CDs.
Yeah.
than I was like,
I'm surprised. I saw that on the Shania
Hey,
Twain documentary.
me too. That's why I mentioned it.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, legends. I'd love to see them. They're great. I just like Bad Bunny right now.
Let me tell you a story about
Does
Shania.
this guy
I'll
even
look him
do?
up.
He's a DJ, right?
You want to
No,
hear?
he's a
hey,
Spanish rapper,
You want to hear
basically.
a wild story about me and Shania Twain?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Billy. I
Everybody
mean, no, I
Before
don't.
I
we
thought that was
go.
a rhetorical question.
So
of course I do.
early college, I set this up. It's not what you think it is. Early college, Shania would come on only late night videos because her first video, you saw the video, was too risque for CMT. And it would come on late, and it's really not at all. You watch it today, it's like
Not
wait,
by
what?
today's standards.
Like, but it would only come on at night. And I was living in McInnes Hall at the time in the dorms. We were living in McInnes, and I don't even know if it's called a hall, but we were in the dorms, and it was me, Tyson, who you know, Ryan Cedars, Chris Stanky, Joel.
This was a young Luch.
TJ,
I know.
yeah. We're all sitting in there, and every time I would call down to the other dorm to Cedars and Stanky.
It's
and
on.
Say, hey, turn it CMT. It's on. Because we were all like, who is this
Right.
country girl? She's gorgeous, and the song was good. And when I watched that documentary, they were talking about how that
Well,
song
was it Woman in Me?
What
or-
made you say that?
Oh.
Go watch that video if you're bored today. Shania Twain, What Made You Say It? She burst onto the scene like that. That's my Shania story. I led you guys down. Let your minds.
I thought it was going to be a
wander.
little juicier than that.
Yeah.
What was the?
It would have been like the extent of it would have been like, oh, we met at a hotel or concert.
Michael
one time.
Jackson.
Macaulay
The
Culkin.
Michael Jackson video, and I was like,
Macaulay
Michael
Culkin.
Jackson's Michael or whatever.
Michael that's one of his famous quotes. Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson.
Sounds
He's
like an
trying to
Andy
talk-
Bernard quote.
I was taking up for him, man. I was like, Michael Jackson can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants.
Apparently not.
All right,
All
guys.
right, go. I got to record
That's
the
it.
YouTube
You gotta
show.
go.
Good luck, man.
Thank you, sir.
YouTube show
Way to go
or-
represent our journalism department.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go speak
Dr.
at
Nuño.
Relis, but I got to record the YouTube thing, the rewind. And
We'll
busy
see you
day.
at the
You got a
gym.
full day.
Me
What
and
time you going to the
Steve
gym?
and I
See you
are
at the
going.
gym, bud.
Gonna make it to Home
2
Depot
o'clock, 1
later?
o'clock? I'll go. Home Depot. That's above my pay grade. What time you say?